I am a Charr. In this world of constant battle, I am the deadliest weapon of all. I respect no authority but the clenched fist of my legion. With engines of destruction, we have killed our gods. We reclaimed our homeland of Ascalon, and we planted victory banners on the graves of our enemies. Yet, if we waver, it could slip through our claws. Victory, at any cost. The Iron Legion's war cry can be heard in the churning of gears and the roaring of siege engines. I serve the Iron Legion. I build the future. I forge the weapons of Charr supremacy. I've earned the respect of my comrades and forged alliances I can call on in times of need. My Legion values innovative solutions, efficient execution. Like our steel, we do not bend. Centuries ago, humans stole Ascalon from the Iron Legion. They have paid for that crime in blood, but the usurpers fight us even in death. Today, the combined armies of the Black Citadel will assault the ghosts that plague Iron Legion territory. I've been assigned to reinforce the bulwark. Let the Ash Legion strike from the shadows. Let the Blood Legion die on the field. I am part of the machine. This is my story.
I need your help, soldier. Tribune Brimstone has ordered me to the crypt, but I'm too torn up to make it.
What's so important that the Blood Legion Tribune is there?
The ghost of Duke Barradin is far more powerful than we thought. His army just broke through our defenses. Ritlock's about to fight him head-on. If he succeeds, it'll be weeks before the ghost reforms, and we can rebuild our perimeter.
On my way.
Steelbane, by Smoder's missing eye, the battle's in the crypt!
I'm holding this tactical position.
Open that gate, or I'll be holding your head. Now! Ritlock needs reinforcements.
We're going to hit Barradin so hard it'll take him weeks to reappear. Move out!
Filthy animals! You will regret this! I will not be defeated! I will destroy you all!
Lost this war long ago, and we'll kill you until you get the point. We burned down his kingdom and buried the ashes. Make him remember that day. Forward, legions! Finish him! Mission accomplished. You're heroes now, boys and girls. Congratulations. Report back to Smokestead.
I heard what you did down in that crypt, soldier. Impressive.
Tribune Brimstone was calling the shots. I just did my job.
Don't sell yourself short. You were part of the team that took down Barradin and stopped the ghost assault. Smokestead is safe now, and you helped make it that way. People are still on edge, though. It'd help if they saw someone like you making the rounds, lending a hand. The quicker we get this place squared away, the sooner the legions can get back to business. You can help. I'd rather have volunteers. But if I have to issue an order, I will.
That won't be necessary, Legionnaire. I hereby volunteer.
At ease, soldier. Your warband paid a heavy toll fending off the recent ghost incursion. Their names will be remembered with honor.
Thank you, Tribune. I plan to remember them by blasting apart every last ghost left out there.
Imperator Smolder and I share your sentiment. The Iron Legion must find a way to end this ghost problem for good. But to do that, we're going to need better weapons.
I might have just the thing, sir. I've been designing a firearm specifically to eradicate ghosts. I call it my Ghost-Bore musket.
Ah, yes. I remember reading that proposal. Between that and your performance against Baradin, I'm promoting you to acting Legionnaire. Do well, and it'll be permanent.
Thank you, sir. But my warband's been decimated. There's only one other soldier left.
You can solve that problem the Iron Legion way. Build a new warband and bring me a working prototype of that weapon. Clear?
Clear, sir. I'll build a warband and a weapon the Iron Legion can be proud to call their own.
You there. We know about the Ghost-Bore musket plans. Hand them over, and I'll just leave a scar.
Come and get them, Zealot. I'll pull off your horns and nail your tail to the floor with them.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy roasting you alive.
It's never a good day until I kill someone.
I thought the scrapyard would have more... scrappers in it. Killing's like weapons practice, but with a surprise inside. We know about your weapon plans. Give them here. Sorry.
Cover me! I've got something special for these punks!
Fork over the plans or we'll roast you alive.
Not a chance, soft claws.
I'll carry this garbage out of my foot for weeks. Careful.
Go on. Hide behind that filthy hag, you coward. We'll be back.
Flame Legion, here. Good thing I had my sticky shot ammo. It's buckshot coated in lye. It hits, sticks, and burns.
That's great stuff. Hey, my warband could use another experienced weaponsmith. Interested?
Interested? Are you serious? I've been stuck in this scrapyard as a gladium for months. I'm desperate.
Serious as an edge on steel. Once my Ghost-Bore musket passes muster, I could bring you in. But first, I have to test it.
Crazed Steel Grinder patrols out by the Baradin estate. He loves provoking the ghosts. You should test it there.
Perfect. I'll update Tribune Goreblade, then assemble the Ghost-Bore musket and head to the Baradin estate. That should provide a target-rich environment.
Ah, here's my new up-and-comer now. I was just telling Tribune Brimstone about you. Nothing good, of course.
Don't you believe him, soldier. In fact, Tribune Goreblade was bragging about some special weapons project you're heading up.
I have an update on that, sir. I've acquired parts and ammunition for my Ghost-Bore musket. I've also arranged a weapons test. But there's a problem. I've seen the Flame Legion twice inside the Citadel. First they were after my plans, and then they showed up at the scrapyard to ambush me. They want my weapon, and they want me dead.
Flame? Inside the Citadel? Ah, that steams my ears. How did they find out about your weapon design?
I told you, Bure, the Flame Commanders are nervous. If this musket makes ghosts take longer to reform, we'll need less troops to fight them. If that happens, Smolder will allocate more soldiers against the Flame Legion and will finally wipe them out. Mind if I watch the weapon tests?
Sure. Just stay behind the gun this time, Brimstone. I'll invite Tribune Torga of the Ash Legion, too. She'll want to see this.
So, you're Lucia's friend? I hear you brought a new weapon to test. You've got all 3 tribunes behind you watching like hawks, so this had better be good. What do you got? It's called the Ghostborn Musket, soldier. What kind of test do you have planned? Lucia said it was a ghost killer. I can't wait to see it in action. My warband's down in the ruins, ready to flush out ghosts on my signal. We'll lure waves of ghosts into the kill zone, that ravine right there. Then you can open fire. That sounds solid. Let me get in position, and then we'll do some ghost hunting. There's Rack, with a bunch of ghosts on his tail.
Gangway! Ghost train coming through!
Here comes Rhodes, and she's bringing friends. Wow, those ghosts disappeared faster than a Meat-Toberfest ham! The musket performed better than I expected. But let's see how it does in a less controlled combat situation. That's easy. Push farther into the ruins, and you'll get all the uncontrolled combat you need. Perfect. We'll fight our way in deep and grab a trophy to prove that ghosts couldn't stop us. That should impress the Tribune. Ha! Did you see those ghosts pop? Outstanding.
You've done exceptional work, Legionnaire. Iron Legion is mighty proud. You'll get a commendation for this, I promise you.
A commendation and a rollout. Blood Legion's already got ideas how to put your upgrade to use.
Hold on, Brimstone. Ash needs that weapon more than your bruisers.
Huh. Too bad it's not your decision. Iron built the weapon, so Iron will make the choice. Demonstrate how you would use the Ghost Boar weapon, so my designer can evaluate and choose. Meet us at the Exterminatus HQ, and bring your ordnance, and your best manners.
Blood and Ash should share like we do. Smoosh them together, and call it the Blash Legion.
Portable turrets. That's pure Ash. Skulk in and take piddly little potshots at the enemy.
Better than your cannon. One big offensive strike that's as likely to miss as it is to hit.
Ears up, soldiers. I'm here to conduct the weapons test.
I'm Snarl Backdraft, Ash Legion. Good thing you're on time. If this bloody hardhead said one more word, I was gonna kill her myself.
You, with your bad aim, keep pretending, Ash Trash. I'm Galena Edgecrusher, Blood Legion. Once you see our cannon in operation, Legionnaire, you won't need to test anything else.
Go ahead. Test Blood's cannon first. It's always good to start on the bottom of the pile.
Fine. Blood goes first. Galena, how are you using my Ghostboar weaponry with your cannon?
We launch flares and broadcast taunts to draw out packs of ghosts, then you blast them to smithereens.
Sounds fun. Get ready to taunt your tails off. I'll keep my finger on the trigger.
Wake up, ghost mice of Ascalon! Blood Legion is here to take everything you have, again. Your land and your lives, ours. We will erase you. Tyria will forget your pathetic kingdom ever existed. We defile the bones of your ancestors for sport. Adelbern's grave is our latrine. I hear you sniveling, you glittery clouds of failure. That's not thunder, you whimpering little worms. It's cannon fire. Blood Legion cannon fire! Go back to the mists and stay there. End this humiliation. You're hopeless, helpless, worthless. Adelbern's army is a joke. A pathetic, dead joke. No wonder your city fell so easily. No wonder we slaughtered you all and laughed ourselves sick. We're laughing now, dead Scalonians. You don't like it? Come, shut us up. Ha! How's that, Snarl? Let's see your popgun turrets beat that.
Did you hear that? Dead Scalonian.
Not bad for loud, pointless noise. Come on, let me show you a more elegant use of the ghost boar weaponry. Our turrets are powerful and portable. A single soldier can deploy up to 3 on a battlefield and coordinate fire.
So you kill the ghosts where you find them, instead of luring them close.
Exactly. For this test, we're holding ghosts in a containment unit. You place the turrets, we'll release the prey.
Sounds like a plan. Let's get started.
Ready? Release the ghosts! Come on, let's see if iron can do more than draw blueprints.
Strong!
Ha! Unlike some soldiers, I'm looking at you, Galena. I won't gloat. But the simple fact is that ash turrets outperform the blood cannon. If you don't see that, you're simple too.
Still wish we could pick both. How about a blood cannon that shoots ash turrets? Officer on deck. Tribune Goreblade. The tests are complete. I've got all the information I need to decide.
Not too difficult, I trust. Between Galena and Snarl, you were lucky not to be ripped in half.
Well done, Legionnaire. So which application of your weapon earns the upgrade?
Excuse me, Tribune. A large ghost force is massing near Ashford Forum. They're calling a muster to fight them off.
Ah, an opportunity. If you have no objections, Brimstone, let's send both Blood and Ash to confront the ghosts.
Definitely. The more force, the better. But which side gets the ghost boar weaponry?
Let me confer with my Legionnaire. I'll let you know. Rely on iron, not false gods.
Remember that time when we were kids and Hal tried to convince me to try out for cannonball catcher? That hurt.
Welcome to the party. Tribune Brimstone is here to observe, and War Master Lebowski is marshaling his forces as we speak. It's Ghost Boar cannon time.
Agreed. But we need to take out Lebowski himself. Duke Barradin taught us that ghost defenses fall apart without their leader.
I've already planned for that. I've got a squad ready for insertion into the catacombs to run a search and destroy on Lebowski. This is Samara. She'll be leading the catacomb squad. You're on the cannon providing cover fire. Clear her a path to Lebowski, and her team will do the rest.
And shoot fast, Maker. I'm going straight for the War Master's throat. And I don't like to wait.
Just give the cannon time to reload, and you won't see a single ghost between you and your target.
Stand by, Maker. Get ready to rain death. On my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark!
Watch it. Undead headed this way.
Damn it! Samara went too far too soon again! Cannon can't support her inside the catacomb. It'll bring the entire thing down on her stupid hard head.
If I can't fire the cannon, I can find Samara and her squad, and I'll make sure Lebowski is slain.
I'm not letting you get killed for Samara's stupidity. Tribune Goreblade would break all my limbs and hang me by my tail.
I'm not asking permission. I'm making sure one gung-ho soldier doesn't ruin my weapon's first combat outing. I'm going in. If I don't come back out soon, open fire with the cannon and level everything in range.
And you call my soldiers gung-ho? Fine. I'll hold off firing for as long as I can. Good luck, Maker. Now get going.
What are you doing? I told Galena to bring this place down!
Never mind. Let's just get Lebowski.
Well, that's enough. I'll take you all head on. Die, Charr!
Rally to me! Blood! 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 That's my warband, Mouse. I guess it's good you showed up. Thanks. Now let's get back to Galena. Lebowski's down and the ghosts are dispersing, just like you said. Now I owe you for the cannon and for saving Samara. I didn't want to be saved. And I don't like owing people my life. Why didn't you just fire on my position?
Because I don't like wasting ammunition. And if we fired on every blood soldier who charged in without thinking, there'd be none of you left.
Watch it, Maker. Blood Legion gratitude only goes so far. In fact, I'm gonna settle our debt right now. Samara has no warband. If you want her, she's yours. I'll formally reassign her to your warband and we'll call it even.
I can always use a skilled recruit, provided she can follow orders. From now on, Samara, you fight when I say, and only when I say. Clear?
Oh, I can follow orders. If I have to follow yours to prove it, I will. Get ready, Maker. Your Iron Warband is getting some much-needed fresh blood.
Outstanding. And you're about to take a crash course in following orders. Fall in, soldier. We're moving out.
So we're agreed. My Legionnaire will report to you for the duration of this mission.
It's the only smart choice. Your Legionnaire's got the skills and a personal stake in this. You heard your Tribune. Your tale is mine for the duration. Now, tell me what you know about your sire, and make it quick.
Name: Clement Forktail. Rank: Flame Legion Shaman. He's a notorious traitor and an enemy of the Black Citadel. Not to mention an embarrassment to me. I've broken several jaws reminding people that I'm not responsible for my father's actions.
I know. I've seen the incident reports. And now Forktail wants to turn himself in. Claims he'll provide critical information on Flame Legion activities. The catch is, he'll only turn himself into you. After all these years, he wants us to think he's seen the error of his ways.
I'll be happy to collect him for you, Tribune. Just don't expect a tearful reunion between sire and cub.
I expect you to handle this with your usual efficiency. Forktail will be waiting at the toppled wall. Bring him in, alive. Dismissed.
It's good to see you, Cub. I see you made some changes to your warband. I wasn't sure if the Citadel would actually send you, or if you'd come.
I came to bring you in, Forktail. That's all. You're gonna pay for your crimes, and provide the information you promised.
That's what I want, too. But the Flame Legion doesn't. They've been sending assassins after me ever since I reached out to the Black Citadel. They were right on my tail until I holed up in here. If they saw you come in, they're probably on their way.
Let them come. Warband, the Flame Legion is about to join this party. Spread out and defend the hallway.
Get the shaman first. He's making the others stronger.
What was that, Forktail? Some kind of ambush? What's your game?
This is no game. Those assassins were after me, not you. Flame is planning something big, and the entire Black Citadel is in danger. They'll kill me and anyone with me to keep this secret. Just get me back to the Citadel. Once we're safe, I'll tell you what you want to know.
Yes, you will. Warband, take the prisoner back to the Citadel stockade and lock him up. I'll follow, and make sure you're not being pursued. Watch for ambushes along the way. Brimstone wants Forktail alive, and that's how we're going to deliver him. Move out!
So this is the traitor's cub. Tell me, does treason run in the family?
Does stupidity run in yours? Address a Legionnaire like that again and I'll put you on scrap duty in the brand. Now walk away. I need to talk to this prisoner.
Yes, Legionnaire. Sorry, Legionnaire. I'll leave you to your interrogation. And if the prisoner gets damaged in the process, I won't have seen a thing.
I'm glad you're here. There isn't much time. Flame is planning to move against the Citadel's highest-ranking officers, but I don't know when or how.
That's convenient. For you. How do I get more details?
Head out to Lamia Maya. There's a Flame Legion recruiter there named Skull Twister. I've led him to think you're interested in changing sides, like I was. He'll treat you like a potential convert. If he won't give you the details you need, you'll have to force them out of him. But from what I've seen, you can handle that.
Don't try and flatter me. I'll check out this Skull Twister. But if you're wasting my time, you'll suffer for it.
We've been expecting you, Cub, and watching you. Now that you're closer, I sense the family resemblance. Are you a traitor, or a double traitor like your father? Convince me, Cub. Renounce your former legion and swear allegiance to Flame.
Slow down. Forktail said I'd retain my rank. I'd join as Legionnaire, or I don't join at all.
Not possible. Legionnaire Flarekin leads us, and he wants to know what you know about the Citadel's highest-ranking officers. His assassination ritual is ready to burn them alive in front of their own troops. You can help us, or you can burn too. What's it going to be?
If that's all you have for me, it's gonna be me killing you. Right now.
It was the Flame Legion. They came to bust out Forktail right after you left. I knew you two were in cahoots.
This is your last warning, Jailer. Watch how you talk to me. Now, did Forktail resist this breakout? Or was he helping them?
I couldn't tell. They said they were going to kill him if he resisted. And he did, but they just knocked him out and carried him off. Your sire's a snake. I wouldn't put it past him to have staged the whole thing.
Why would he let himself be captured? Put me onto their plan, and then break out? No. He was being straight with me, and they came to shut him up.
We need to find him. He mentioned a flame bunker in the Arkovian foothills. They may have taken him there.
Then that's where we'll go. He was your prisoner, so you have a stake in this. Meet me there.
Wasn't sure you'd make it, but I'm glad you're here. Listen to that. They've been chanting since I got here. Makes my skin crawl.
The recruiter mentioned a ritual. We better get in there and break it up.
And recover my prisoner. No one's ever escaped my stockade. I know he's your sire, but Forktail belongs in one of my cells.
Tribune Brimstone wants him alive. You want him alive. I want him alive. Let's go get him alive. Anyone else in there is fair game.
Hurry! There are more of them around. They'll come running any second.
Finally back with your Flame Legion friends, eh, Forktail? It's like I always say, once a traitor, always a traitor.
I'm a prisoner here, Seneca. You idiot. They were going to use me as fodder for their ritual.
What ritual? What does it do?
Not here. Get me out of this place and I'll tell you everything.
We're clear. Now tell me about this ritual they're planning.
It causes magical fire to burn you from the inside out. It turns flesh and blood creatures like me into elementals that then fuel a huge flame effigy. The shaman plans to conduct the ritual inside the Citadel, in the core. He wants to burn all the tribunes and Imperator Smoder. I know where they're preparing the ritual. If you give me a chance to make up for my past mistakes, we can stop this before it starts.
He can't be trusted. We need to go back to the Citadel and warn everyone. We can handle the Flame Legion. This piece of trash belongs behind bars.
Hold on. Give me a minute to think. Smoder's Eye. What is this place?
My old workshop. Murgath and I developed new magical attacks here. This is where he'll perform the ritual.
Can he really kill the Tribunes and Imperator from here?
Absolutely. I taught him well. He was my right hand. He'll use the prisoners as fuel for the ritual. die in flames.
Then we'd better free them right now.
Help us! Get us out of here before the shaman returns! Thanks, soldier. I thought I was done for. Wait. Something's wrong. I feel strange. My stomach melting. My muscles burning. Help!
The ritual is consuming her. We have to kill the prisoners before...
Kill me! No! I'm not flame! Get away!
What's happening?
What are you doing here? This was your plan, your ritual. You've ruined everything.
Not everything, Murgath. You're still alive, but we can fix that.
Forktail, I can't believe you'd betray your old warband and the entire Flame Legion for this cub.
This cub gave me a chance, and I'm making the most of it. I'm not a slave anymore.
How touching. But I doubt that changes the odds for you two. You never did have the stomach for murder.
Not murder. Justice. My father is trying to redeem himself. Too bad you'll never get that chance. Let's end this.
We can take it, cub. No
In
problem.
the name of Gaheran Balefire, I give myself to the flame.
Trigger the pain.
Nice and neat.
At last. I hope this redeems me. But now you'd better take me back to the stockade before Seneca locks us both up.
I have a better idea. Come to Heroes Canton with me. I'll vouch for you to Tribune Brimstone. After he knows what we did, maybe he'll pardon you.
Don't throw away your future. You could wind up branded a Flame Legion sympathizer, or a traitor like me.
I trust Rytlock to hear us out before he decides. What do you have to lose?
Fine. I'll return to the Citadel and wait for your word, and thank you for everything.
Forktail didn't murder you? I hope that means you stopped the Flame Legion. Where's my prisoner?
In Heroes Canton. We couldn't have done this without his help. I recommend we reduce his sentence to time already served.
Forget it. Your sire's sentence is for life. I'll release him when he's dead, not before.
That's not your call. If Forktail saved the Tribunes and the Imperator, I want to hear about it.
Forktail risked his life for the Citadel. We owe our success to him. And he's no longer a threat. I'd stake my life on it.
Good enough. I authorize Forktail's release. You can give him the good news yourself if you like. See to it, Seneca.
I must protest, Tribune. This isn't...
I said, see to it, Seneca, or you'll make me very angry. It's not easy to stand up for a betrayer. I know. You've proven your loyalty and your value to the Citadel once again, Legionnaire. I've got big plans for you. When they're ready, I'll send for you. Listen close, Centurion. We've got a serious problem, and you're already involved. The Orders of Tyria have come to me about one of your soldiers, Howl the Brazen.
Howl's dead, sir. He died fighting Duke Baradin. I've seen his grave.
Yes, and before he died, Howl apparently bought a dangerous magical amulet from the necromancer Rissa. Where that amulet goes, the undead follow. Rissa has been distributing them all over the region. The Orders want to examine Howl's amulet to see what they're up against. The High Legions want to forge a working relationship with the Orders, so you're going to join their investigation. Reps from the Vigil, Derman Priory, and the Order of Whispers will meet you at Howl's grave. Confer with all three, but focus on the one most likely to get results. Got it?
Yes, sir. Hal was one of mine. I'll do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of this.
It's not just about a necromancer. It's also about dragons and the undead.
So you still think this necromancer Rissa was an agent of the Elder Dragons?
Of Zaitan, yes. Don't ask how I know. It's the Order of Whispers' business to know things.
The Priory concurs. We don't know much about Rissa, but we do know she was corrupted.
Then finding and killing her is our priority, not digging around in graveyards.
That's why Brimstone sent us the Centurion. Our orders never agree on anything.
Welcome, Centurion. Glad to have you with us. I am Yahala Scribe-Paw of the Derman Priory. My colleagues are...
I don't need you to speak for me. I'm Gon Towerbreaker of the Vigil. Glad to have another military mind on this mission.
I am Kurakon, concerned blacksmith from the Order of Whispers. We specialize in covert activity, information, infiltration, and assassination. I'm sure Tribune Brimstone briefed you, but to review, all three orders are dedicated to stopping the Elder Dragons. Your late bandmate may be connected.
I understand the mission parameters. Hal's grave is right there. What are we waiting for?
See? That's how a military mind works. Identify the problem, attack it head on. None of this sneaking around, talking things to death.
We were waiting for you, Centurion. There's a complication between us and the objective. Namely, a throng of undead grubs.
And since this used to be a bandmate of yours, we thought it prudent to wait before we dug him up. Now that you're here, though, let's start squashing. No amulet here. There isn't even a body. Either someone dug up your friend or he dug himself out. If Gon here wasn't so humorless, I might say, this is a dead end.
Go hammer your anvil, blacksmith. The adults are talking. Look, our objective hasn't changed. We still need to secure one of those amulets.
I'm afraid I must leave that to you two. Without the amulet in hand, I need to confer with my colleagues before the Priory can commit to a course of action.
We have the Necromancer's records. We know the location of at least 2 more of Rissa's trinkets. I say we start in Drugar's homestead. Me and my fellow blacksmiths do a lot of business there. We have valuable contacts at the location that we can't afford to lose.
Scorch what your associates can afford. The people of Snowdrift's Haven have already been attacked, and they need our protection now.
You can't save everyone, Crusader. And since our new friend here can't be in 2 places at once, who are you going to protect, Centurion?
It's worse than I thought. The Haven's already crawling with undead creatures. We need to clean them out.
Agreed. But what about the amulet?
It's easier to search a dead body that isn't moving. Let's go.
This amulet of Rissa's was able to summon more than just undead grubs. I don't like this. Hal's grave was empty. He could be out there right now, leading an undead attack on some other haven.
Maybe, but right now, our top priority is to get this amulet back to the Citadel. The sooner we understand how it works, the better.
Agreed. With all 3 orders pitching in to study the amulet, we can figure out how to destroy it, or at least deactivate it.
Studying is for scholars and spies. They can do whatever they like with Rissa's amulet after we secure it someplace where it won't cause any more trouble.
Look at that. You can find beauty here and dozens of ways to die. I like
The
that
Derman Priory
challenge.
is looking forward to working with the Citadel on this, Tribune.
as is the Order of Whispers. The dragons want us to come at them individually. That's why we shouldn't do it.
Glad to have you both aboard. We're going to need reliable information from here on, not to sell the Vigil short. Their firepower is always an asset.
No need to flatter me, Tribune. I know research isn't the Vigil's strong suit. As long as what we're doing eventually leads to the dragons, we don't mind taking a back seat. Temporarily.
Reporting in, Tribune. We have one of the Necromancer's amulets. Now we just need to figure out how to deal with it.
Top Priory researchers are standing by to determine how the amulet works, and more importantly, how to neutralize it.
My sources say the Inquest has already completed their research on one of these amulets. Why waste time repeating their efforts when we could just acquire their results?
I don't trust the Inquest methodology. This is too important not to handle ourselves the right way.
You scholars and spies know more about the right way to collect data. The Vigil will be standing by when there's action to be taken.
It's your call, Centurion. Do you want to assist the Order of Whispers retrieval mission, or the Priory research effort?
Our best people are working on the amulet. With your help, we'll get results even sooner.
Scholar Vivian, I'd like you to meet the Centurion who helped collect the Necromancer's amulet. I trust your team's analysis is going well?
We're making good progress, especially since we split the amulet up among 3 of our best researchers.
You were able to break the amulet apart? That sounds more like success than progress.
Each fragment remains functional, though. That tells us Rissa probably struck her amulets from the same original source. We're very close to a breakthrough. Check in with each of my team members and you'll see. You might even be able to speed things along.
May your knowledge flourish.
Red. I love that color. Excellent choice. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh dear! Fire!
Strong!
Quickly, get the water pail before we lose everything. Exciting. Excuse me while I lay here for a bit. Would you inform Vivian of our result?
That was unexpected. Better destroy them than break anything Vivian will have mine. Thank you, Charr. I'll let Vivian know my results.
Good thing I have another.
No! Cluckers is trying to eat my face! Kill him! Kill him now!
Chicken? It was after the other shard
We've learned a lot about the crystal powering Rissa's amulets. It seems to be Orion Dragon corruption made solid. It resonates with death energy. It kills and reanimates the wearer, and then makes them into a focal point for other undead. Mr. Cluckers proved that the crystal fragments remain connected and are drawn to each other. If we can find the original source of this crystal, Fiona's reagents can nullify it, and we should be able to shut them all down.
Excellent work, especially in the face of an army of shades and an undead chicken. Now, how do we find the original crystal to nullify it?
I believe we can cobble together a locator device synced to the crystal's energy that would lead right back to the original.
Do it. We need to find the source, and I need to find my dead warband mate. Thank you, Scholar. Yahala, let's report back to the Citadel.
Eager to hear your report, Centurion. We're seeing an increase in undead attacks all over the region. Safe to say Rissa's amulets are responsible?
We've learned that they're connected to the Orion Dragon. They turn their owners into undead, and draw other undead to them.
The Vigil has one of the amulets stashed in our HQ. Are you saying that my people are in danger?
You militant types ought to be used to that by now. With so many innocents at stake, the Vigil can defend itself. The Priory is working on a way to detect the amulets. We'll use our device to stop the next outbreak before it starts.
And if the Vigil falls, who will defend all those innocents it already protects?
And while you're working that out, I'll withdraw to confer with my superiors. You have a tough choice ahead of you, Centurion. What's it going to be?
The orders disagree on how to proceed, so I have a plan. You choose which one will help. In return, I've arranged for you to permanently join that order. You'll still be a Centurion of the High Legions, but you'll also be a link between us and your chosen order. Your warband will continue doing Citadel business while you're gone.
I understand. Hal's involvement made this personal, but the Orient Dragon is a global threat. We need strong, reliable allies against it.
Okay, people. Time to decide. We have the means to find the Necromancer's Dragon Crystal, and to destroy it.
All thanks to the Priory. We know what we're doing, so now let us destroy the crystal without interference. We work better that way.
There's no way I'm leaving a vital search and destroy mission to a bunch of academics. Wait for Vigil support before you make a move.
Either way, the Order of Whispers will do what we always do. You draw their attention, then strike from the shadows.
It's your call, Centurion. But remember that you're not just helping out. You're joining the order you choose.
I overheard. You're leaving us to join one of the orders?
I'm accepting a special assignment from the Tribune, and the warband will need a leader while I'm gone. That's you, Legionnaire.
Me? But I'm not smart enough to give orders. I can follow them, or pass them along. Are you sure about this?
I need someone I can trust, someone effective. You've got some rough edges, but there's nobody else I'd want calling the shots. If anyone objects, send them to me, or just crack their heads until they think different. You're in charge now. Act like it. I know you can handle this.
Thanks, boss. You can count on me. Good luck in Lion's Arch. We'll be waiting when you get back. The Vigil is the right choice, soldier. You'll be a strong asset to us. Your skills will make a real difference in the world.
The Vigil understands what this is. War. The dragon threat needs to be confronted head-on, starting with Necromancer Rissa. By now, Hal is most likely one of her mindless minions. He deserves to rest in peace, and she deserves to die. What's our next move?
Direct assault with overwhelming force. The Priory can destroy the crystal, but we will clear the way for them to do so. If they falter, or their magic potion fails, we'll bash it until it shatters. Meet me at Lichcroft Mere, and we'll put an end to this. The Vigil? That's what I would have picked. We're like brain twins. All right, you mongrels, listen up and listen good. The Priory team went in without us. They'll never complete this mission without us. We need to find them and make sure their potion reaches the Necromancer's crystal.
I'm glad you're here. The Priory jumped the gun and went in without Vigil support. Gon has more details.
The Priory team took the detector and the crystal-dissolving potion. Our objective is to find them. Ready for your first mission, recruit?
More than ready.
All we're doing is making sure the potion reaches the crystal. They should have given it to us in the first place. Never send a pencil pusher to do a soldier's job.
I'm ready to move when you are. And I'm not leaving until Hal, Rissa, and the Dragon Crystal have all been dealt with. Hal, can you hear me? Do you understand? Give me a sign that you're still you, or I'll have to... Look, just say something.
Hunger. It hungers. We hunger.
He's gone, Centurion. The corruption's got him. That's not the soldier you knew.
Yeah, and this thing insults his memory. Hal was a good soldier, and my comrade. I'm not leaving him like this.
May Grenth shield you.
Ah, my furry friends. You've come far and accomplished much, only to die and be reborn as my undead slaves.
You owe me, Necromancer. For Hal the Brazen, and everyone else your amulets defiled. I'm gonna paint this swamp red with your blood.
I doubt it. The dragon crystal has so much power. Besides, I've already imbued the mire with enough toxic magic to kill you where you stand.
She's right, Centurion. We need to deal with her quickly. If the Priory potion is still in that cave, we can still end this.
Quickly is just what I had in mind, Tribune. Come on. Let's see if the Necromancer can resurrect herself. I feel strong.
Your new orders are drop dead. It's rotting. Not a bad fight. This looks like the Priory team. Search their bodies. We need to recover that potion.
Congratulations, recruit. Your comrade can rest in peace now. And we stopped the undead from flooding this whole region.
There's a lot more coming. The Orien Dragon also makes undead, and it won't stop at a single region. It'll take over the entire world.
Then we take the offensive. The dragon is our new target, just like the crystal was. We kill it, we cut off the flow of Orien undead at its source.
Agreed. But we don't have the ordnance or personnel to take on the dragon directly. Not yet.
Don't tell me about dragons, soldier. Ever heard of Destiny's Edge? I was a member. We nearly took down an elder dragon all on our own.
Then show us how. We need to work together if we're going to defeat it.
You're right. The Charr can't do this alone. Fortunately, I heard from one of my old guildmates. She wants to meet in Lion's Arch about that very thing.
Lion's Arch is also your next stop, recruit. There's a Vigil contact waiting with your first official mission. Glad to have served beside you. Good luck.
I'll keep an eye out for you in the city. If we're lucky, we'll get another chance to fight together. Do the Legion's proud, soldier. Dismissed.
Welcome, fellow members of Destiny's Edge. We must speak of the threat of the Elder Dragons.
When I agreed to come, I didn't know you'd be inviting this Charr.
I could say the same for you, human. Finally crawling back for forgiveness, Logan.
I've done nothing that needs to be forgiven.
Logan, Ritlock, enough of your squabbling. Kaith, I doubt that we can unite again. Not after our last mistake.
The Norn's right. When heirs to Galkin makes mistakes, people die.
Is that what you think, Soja? That what happened was my fault?
Please, all of you, our time has come. We must help the Orders. We have fought the Elder Dragons before.
And lost. Because someone couldn't keep up with us.
You have something to say it to my face.
I would if you weren't always running away. I should gut you and be done with it.
Gut me? With what? That human-made sword you looted from Ascalon? I've had enough. We're done here.
Running away again.
Ritlock, you're just making it worse.
Ha! Look who's talking! Logan's right, for once. I have more important things to do. I'm done with this.
And I refuse to waste my efforts on cowards and fools. Goodbye, Kaith.
It's sad to see Logan and Ritlock argue. If only there was something to bond them together. Yes, I know what might help. Kaith, I have to leave as well. I fear this meeting was a mistake, but maybe I can fix it.
We failed, then. Failed to bring Destiny's Edge back together. We cannot help the others. How can we help Tyria?
Thank you for the warning, General Soulkeeper.
I will make sure Queen Jenna receives your news, but I cannot make any promises. The Ebonhawk Treaty is Kryta's only hope for peace with the Charr. We cannot withdraw our negotiators, no matter the risk.
With all due respect, Ambassador, it's a damn fool decision.
That's enough, War Master. Thank you, Lady Versa. The Vigil will do our best to keep everyone safe. 6 years ago, a dragon rose in Ascalon. It flew south, killing and corrupting everything in its path. I stood beneath the dragon as it passed overhead. I survived where others did not. All across Tyria, I found others who told of destruction caused by the dragons. Humans and Silvara battling undead that swarmed their shores. A surf driven from their underground cities. Joining together, we gave birth to a mighty organization, the Vigil. We're proud that you have chosen to serve alongside us. Your mentor will be Forward, one of our finest soldiers and the most stalwart Norn I know. He'll teach you to fight with the Vigil. The Vigil was created to fight the dragons, to destroy them before they destroy us. Some must fight, so that all may be free. Welcome to the Vigil. My name is Almora Soulkeeper. I founded this order. I'm its general until I die in battle, or they find someone better. Your representative sent me a letter saying that you were the best they'd ever seen. I look forward to seeing you prove that.
I'll do my best, General. I'm dedicated to fighting the dragons. Just show me where to fight.
Ha! I like you already, recruit. I've assigned you to War Master Forgil Kernson for training.
Look here, young one. I don't care what you've done in the past. The Vigil needs heroes, not tale-tellers. It's what you do today, not yesterday, that matters to me. Understood?
Yes, War Master.
If you give each other a chance, I think you'll get along just fine. Now to business. Renegades are threatening the treaty negotiations between Kryta and the Iron Legion. The Vigil needs to ensure that the treaty goes through. Those two nations need to be fighting the dragons, not each other. You'll be dealing with Commander Samuelson, leader of the Ebon Vanguard and avid treaty supporter. Head to Ebonhawk and stop those renegades.
Welcome to Ebonhawk, recruit. By Raven's wings, what in the mists is happening here?
It's the Vigil. Thank Balthazar you're just in time. I'm Samuelson, Wade Samuelson, commander of Ascalon.
I'm War Master Kernson, and this is my new recruit. Give me a status report.
Here's the problem. A bunch of Charr renegades smuggled explosives into the city. They're trying to blow up one of the outer walls. The Ebon Vanguard stopped the demolition team, but renegade forces are attacking everywhere, from here to the Central Plaza.
That sounds like a blood-covered mess, Commander. How can we help?
We have to get to the city Central Plaza. Turn right, head down the road and through the crossing. You'll see a big statue at the center of the square. Once we take the square, the Vanguard can do the rest. But without a rally point, we're falling apart.
Who are these renegades? What do they want with Ebonhawk?
They're Charr who disobeyed the orders of the High Legions. These idiots would rather die than make peace with humans, and they're dangerous.
We'll capture the plaza, Commander, and teach a lesson to any renegades we find along the way. Ready, recruit? Move out.
Your timing was perfect, War Master Kernson. I can't thank you enough. The renegades are getting bolder. This is the first time they've ever tried to bomb the fortress from the inside.
New tactics may signify a new leader. You think they finally found a shot caller with half a brain?
Think it. I know it. He's a Charr named Ajax Anvilburn, and that rotter's a thorn in my side.
Do you know anything about Anvilburn? Some way we could track him down and stop him?
Scouts tell us the renegades have a camp outside Ebonhawk, but my troops are tied up defending the treaty location. The Ebon Vanguard hasn't had a chance to check it, but if I had to guess, I'd say either he's there or his soldiers are.
We'll take a look, Commander. Ill-disciplined thugs like these should be easy to find. Hey there, kid. Remember to bring your weapon?
I'm ready to fight, and don't call me kid.
Ha! Got some spark in you, eh, recruit? Good to see. We'll need it if we're gonna stamp out these renegades. Get ready to move, and keep your voice low. If we're lucky, we can catch these bootjacks sleeping.
You really think we'll be lucky?
Kid, we both know that kind of luck doesn't exist. Still, try to take prisoners if you can. We'll need them to give us information if Anvilburn isn't there.
So we just run in there and yell, "Hello, bad guys, surrender or die"?
Look here, whelp. There's a time for strategy and there's a time for kicking the door down. We don't need tactics against this rabble. We just need force.
Yes, sir, War Master.
Right then. Don't worry about hello. Just skip straight to surrender or die. Now move out. By the spirits, is this some kind of kiddie playground? Wake up out there!
Strong!
Whoever trained you must be crying right now. You best run. That's all you've got? Come on, you mangy runts!
I feel strong!
You're the worst trained, most cowardly loustabouts I've ever seen.
Prepare to suffer. I yield. Fight well.
You shuck-brained cur! Where's Ajax Anvilburn? We know he's behind the attacks on Ebonhawk. Spill!
You just missed him. He left this morning. He's on his way to kill some worthless human named Duran. They're setting an ambush at Summit Peak. They'll kill Duran, then leave the bloody knife with old Steel Crusher. We're killing two peace lovers with one trap.
Ashes and snow? He means Minister Kent Duran, the Crichton ambassador. I bet Steel Crusher's the ambassador for the High Legions.
You're vigil, aren't you? Ha! Ajax will be sorry he missed killing you. Tell his human-loving mother, Almora, that one day we'll spit on her grave.
Amora is Ajax's mother.
That's above your pay grade, recruit. Forget you heard anything about it.
Forget? I can't just forget. Don't you think that's important?
Whatever happened to discipline? Kids these days. All right, fine. But not here and not now. We'll talk about it later. Right now we have to evac before more renegades show up. Leave this coward to rot and die alone. Let's get back to Ebonhawk and warn Samuelson about Ajax's plan.
Who are you people? Commander Samuelson didn't mention an escort. And you certainly don't look like Vanguard.
We're with the Vigil. We know about the attack plan for Minister Duran. We're here to make sure you reach him in time.
An escort? I'm a soldier of the Ebon Vanguard. I don't need babysitters.
We're not babysitters. We're tourists. Traveling the same road, taking in the same scenery, and beating the ever-living crap out of the same idiots as you. You look like a fine sergeant. Are you really going to tell us where we can't go and who we can't beat up on such a nice day?
I have to get this message to the minister. I don't have time for this. Just keep up or I leave you behind. Head out for Summit Peak, and don't slow down. So Vigil's my escort? Fine. Just don't tell the rest of the Vanguard. I'll never hear the end of it.
If I'd had a daughter, she'd be a lot like Jane. Except smarter, stubborn. Careful. This has ambush written all over it.
For the Charr!
aren't even bothering to disguise their ambushes? That's just insulting.
Stand the line. We have to help her.
No, we can't risk it. If the ambassador is killed, many more lives will be lost.
You'd abandon your own soldiers?
We all knew the risk when we joined the Vanguard. Duty first. Balthazar's breath. Ogres? The renegades are stirring up anything they can find just to send them. Minister Duran, sir, please. It's critical that you hear this. Commander Samuelson sent me from Ebenhog. You're both in terrible danger.
Danger? Slow down, Sergeant. Take a deep breath and tell me what's going on.
Ajax Anvilburn and his renegades are going to ambush you. They plan to assassinate Minister Duran and blame the attack on Ambassador Steelcrusher.
Well, we can't let that happen, can we? Duran, can you fight?
Not as well as a Charr, but I can hold my own. We could take cover at Summit Peak up ahead. Having the high ground would be in our favor. The camp is a defensible location. If the renegades don't know we're prepared, we could turn the tables on them when they attack.
With all due respect, Minister, the best defense is usually a good offense. I recommend we find the traitor's base and destroy Ajax before he can strike.
The Vigil were the ones to uncover this plot. With due respect, sirs, I think we should let them decide if we choose ambush or assault.
For the love of... Recruit! Talk some sense into this woman. She's more stubborn than a goat shaman.
Forgel, these are renegades. They're nothing but an unruly mob, and they're trapped in a cave with only one exit. If you seriously think this'll be a fight, then maybe you should start thinking about retiring, old man.
Watch it, soldier, or I'll old man you into the ground. These are Charr, and they know we're coming. They've chosen a defensible point, and they've had time to fortify. If you go in recklessly, you're just going in to die.
A wise man taught me there's a time for strategy, and there's a time for kicking a door down. I'd listen to him if I were you.
Looks like you learned quick, recruit. Good. Now listen here, Sergeant. We're going to stick together as a unit, so we aren't picked off one by one. We go in slow and careful, and watch out for surprises. Recruit, I'm putting you on point. Tell me when you're ready to advance.
Your blows are weak. Little Morris is a coward and cannot face her own blood. It dogs. It dogs. I shall never bend my knee.
You were right, War Master. The renegades were ready for us.
No, they just thought they were ready for us. They couldn't stand against the Vigil.
I don't understand those renegades. It's hard to believe anyone in Tyria would work against peace. With the dragons out there, we can't afford to be divided.
Some people can't see past their own noses. It's a good thing we can. This treaty will help even the odds against Zaitan. Count on it. You did well, recruit. You learn quickly, you adapt, and you know when to put hammer to steel. I wasn't sure I'd like you when we started this operation. Amora kind of twisted my arm to take you on, said you were special. But damned if you didn't live up to every word she said. You aren't like the rest of these young'uns hanging around the Order. I'm field promoting you to Crusader, but don't let it go to your head.
I won't, old man. And thank you. It's an honor to work with you, too.
Old man, huh? Don't push your luck.
Well done, recruit. You saved the treaty between Kryta and the Iron Legion.
I hope they manage to create a lasting peace, General. We can't defeat the dragons unless both nations work together. General, may I ask a question? Ajax Anvilburn, he was your son. Is that correct?
Stand down, Crusader. That's none of your...
No, War Master. I'll answer the question. After all the two of you went through, the Crusader deserves that much. Ajax was my son. As is our custom, I didn't raise him. I left him at the Farrar, and he found me again after my warband was slaughtered by a dragon. I tried to explain to him why I founded the Vigil, but he said I was wasting my time. He never really understood the threat the dragons pose. Like many in the legions, Ajax never looked beyond the Charr. I will grieve for my son, but I will not look back.
I'm sorry for your loss, General, but Tyria is safer because of your sacrifices.
Thank you. I agree.
General Soulkeeper, I'd like to request that the Crusader be permanently assigned as my partner.
That's a surprise, Forgo. Are you going soft on me?
I don't have time to break in anyone else. All right, I admit it. We work well together.
Consider yourself so assigned. Crusader, I've briefed Forgo on some options for your next mission. Speak with him, and then decide.
Now we can get started. The acting chief is willing to talk to us, but watch your step. You there. The Vigil would like to talk to your chief about the swarms of branded creatures that have been plaguing your crawl.
Uldek the Fierce is our chief, but he's still missing. I am Lagula, and I speak for the crawl until Uldek returns. But I am in no mood to talk to strangers.
What if we find him for you? Would you talk to us then?
Of course. If you find Uldek, the entire crawl will thank you. He was exploring near the brand when he went missing. A bunch of us went to look for him, but they never came back. Find them too, if you can.
I wish Uldek had listened to me. We've tried taming Branded before, but it always ends in blood.
Those creatures are certainly stubborn. Dedicated, I mean. I may not like them, but I can admire that. We'd better move fast. This place reeks of death. Found him. But it looks like we're not the only one.
Strong!
Never mind. We've got to get out of here. I can still fight, but it's not safe. The chief turned on us. Help me get back and warn the crawl. Fresh. I'm bleeding. Thank you. Uldek has gone mad. He killed the others, killed our pets, and left me for dead.
Why did Uldek attack his own people?
He's been branded, turned into a crystal monster. He went out to tame such creatures, but became one instead. He lured us into a trap and set a pack of those crystal creatures on us. He's still our finest beastmaster. They obeyed him perfectly. Now he means to make branded of the entire crawl, and our pets. I have to get back and warn them. There are 2 ways you could help if you like. Our tamers need as many strong pets as they can find. Also, we need more supplies to build fortifications.
Your attention, please. John Kor set us to help you tame pets for your crawl defense.
I don't know how you fooled Jonkor, but this is no game. We need to break in the most dangerous beasts, or we don't stand a chance against Uldek.
Rock dogs are tough, but we can handle them. The hard part will be not killing them outright.
Are you listening? I said most dangerous. Normal rock dogs are just the warm-up. We're here for Sourfang, the pack alpha. He's killed 3 beastmasters so far. If you want to make a difference, help us tame him. First, we tame enough of his pack to draw him out. Then the real work begins. Pitch in or get out of my way. We're done here. Sourfang and his entire pack should be enough to defend the crawl.
Should be. I thought the point was to make your crawl impregnable. Now you sneer like it was a waste of time. We tamed Sourfang.
And yet my chief is still coming to kill us all. I appreciate your hard work. Isn't that enough? Or should I blow kisses and throw candy? I don't have time for your tiny feelings. Uldek was a hero to my people, and now he's lost. No branded creature has ever been unbranded. Putting Uldek down is grim work, but it has to be done. If you want gratitude and respect, help us end this.
Of course. That's why we're here. And we won't leave until we shatter Uldek and his entire branded horde.
Is this the supply detail? We're from the Vigil, and Jonkor said you need help gathering raw materials.
Jonkor was right, but it'll be tough. We need lumber, and the only grove close enough is full of harpies. We can fell trees with a single blow, but someone needs to keep those filthy birds off us. I hate those things.
We've got you covered. You cut down the trees, we'll cut down the harpies.
Good. And don't hold back. The world needs less harpies. Let's get started. Not bad. I'm surprised a young race like yours can act so cool in a crisis.
Nobody's called me young for quite some time, unless they're joking. But we're not done yet. We still intend to help you defend your crawl.
We'd be honored to have you join us. Uldek was a great leader, but now he's a great threat. Nobody likes the idea of putting him down, but...
But it has to be done. We understand, and rest assured, we won't let you face Uldek alone. We'll meet you back at the crawl.
You're back. They say you were a big help. On behalf of the entire crawl, thank you.
You're welcome, but we were expecting to defend the crawl, and you're evacuating it.
Yes, things got worse. The weather turned, and Uldek's herd of monsters gets bigger all the time. I made the call. Some of us will stay and fight. The rest will find safety. If things go badly here, they'll start a new crawl.
Count us with the fighters. Just tell us where we can do the most good.
Check with Gorkin. He's in charge of our defenses. And thanks again. I don't know why you're helping us, but I'm glad you're here.
Battle against Stogans before,
We
but
don't
never
have
with
much
them.
time.
This will be glorious.
Keep moving. Get those supplies squared away and guard them until we catch up. Nojara, I want Sourfang and the Rock Dogs ready, and make sure they know who to bite. Call out if the fortifications fail, Gorkon. We'll be ready to step in to fill any gaps.
Do you hear that? Something's coming.
Uldek was a good chief. He deserves a clean death.
Change doesn't come easy for an old soldier. You didn't give up on me, and I won't give up on you. We do this together.
Well, we're alive, but the crawl is ruined. What a painful victory.
The dragon's corruption is strong. When it got hold of Uldek, it became even stronger.
It would have been much worse if you hadn't shown up. At least now, we have a chance to start over. I won't forget what you did for us. When you make your stand against the dragons, call me, and I will repay that debt.
Definitely. The Vigil is dedicated to stopping the dragons, but we'll need allies to make that happen. Until that day, good luck.
Our oldest legends tell truth. The time of trial has come once more.
The dragons are a threat to everyone, Jonkor. I'm glad your village has joined the fight against them.
This the ogres know. It is best to have allies. We will stand beside the Vigil.
Forgel told me what happened, Crusader. I'm proud that you saved so many innocents. You've shown the strength of your resolve. I'm promoting you to War Master. Effective immediately.
Thank you, General. It's my honor to serve the Vigil.
I wish I could give you a proper ceremony before you go back in the field, but we have a critical issue at hand. People in Lion's Arch are disappearing without explanation. I need you both to look into it.
With all due respect, General, isn't that a job for the Lion Guard?
Ordinarily, yes. But some of the missing people are Lion Guard. Worse, we've lost contact with one of our Vigil tacticians stationed there.
That makes it our problem. Understood, ma'am. What area should we survey, and what should we be looking for?
I recommend you start with the sewers. That's where those Lion Guard were last seen.
These sewers are dangerous. All sorts of monsters could wash in from the sea. Stick together. Be ready for anything. These Lion Guard died fighting. Whatever killed them was powerful. The grate below is broken. We should check through there. Stinks like an alehouse on free curry night.
What in the name of the mists was that thing?
I've only seen such a creature once before, at Port Stalwart, just before the Orient Dragon destroyed the town, years ago. It's a special kind of scout for Zhaitan. If that creature's here, then there's an undead army advancing on Lion's Arch.
Wait, are you sure about that, Forgol?
Dead sure. We don't have time to go back and report to Almora, or even send for Vigil backup. I'll head for Claw Island to warn the Lion Guard. Meet me there as soon as you can.
What's on Claw Island?
The Claw Island fortress stands in the harbor of Lion's Arch. It's the last defense against invasion from the sea. If Zhaitan's going to attack the city, its minions will have to fight their way past the fort. The creature we found hadn't been in Lion's Arch long. We may still have time. We have to find the Watch Commander and convince him to ready the defenses.
Thank you for meeting with us, Watch Commander Talon. We have grave news. One of Zhaitan's minions breached the city. We destroyed it. But the creature was likely scouting for a much bigger force. An attack is imminent.
A what? That's extremely unlikely. We've seen no sign of an impending attack. If there was to be one, we'd know of it.
Is that you, Forgel? Well met, old man. Are you still fighting for the Vigil?
Traherne! By Snow Leopard's shadow, you're a sight for sore eyes. With you on our side, we've got a fighting chance.
I want you to meet my partner, one of the bravest war masters in my order.
My friend, this is Traherne, one of the Silvari Firstborn. He's Tyria's foremost scholar on Zhaitan and Ore. I've been trying to recruit him for years.
Commander Talon, I can confirm their information. Zhaitan's servants are indeed approaching. A fleet of dead ships has launched from the Straits of Devastation. The Risen sail beneath a cloak of stealth.
Whatever you've seen, it can't be a real threat. Claw Island can withstand any assault. Speak with my commanders, Brack and Mira. Once you review our defenses, you'll realize there's nothing to fear.
Sadly, no. I'm only here to give the Lion Guard a warning, much like you and your friend.
Well, at least you've come out from behind your scrolls and scribbles. That's a start. We need your common sense, lad. I'm glad you're here.
If you don't mind, I'll accompany you on your rounds. It's been a while since I've toured the fortress. Be on alert. The Orions are planning a major attack against Claw Island.
Tell the Watch Commander Talon that the gunnery emplacements are ready. The fortress here on Claw Island houses more 24-pounders than a ship of the line. We'll be ready to fight the Orions. Don't doubt that. Check on Deputy Mira. She's in charge of the beach patrols.
The Lion Guard don't understand. This won't be a sortie. It'll be a massacre.
Welcome to Beach Patrol, the most dangerous duty on Claw Island.
Deputy, a massive attack is on its way from Ore. You must prepare your troops.
If we fall, our last order is to light those 3 signal towers. We have to warn Lion's Arch if the fortress is lost. In 100 years, they've never once been lit. We're very proud of that.
Deputy Mira, sound the alarm. There are undead on the beach.
If an invasion's really coming, we'll need everyone on the island to hold the line. Traherne, I thought you said the attack would be significant.
It was a feint. They're testing your defenses. More will come, and soon.
Makes sense. Report to Watch Commander Talon, and tell the men to be ready.
I have studied Orion creatures for 25 years, but I rarely engage in combat with them. Do you think the commander will listen to us now? For my research, we still know so little about defeating.
Paltry attack. It barely ruffled our feathers. Is that all they brought?
There will be more, much more. Keep watching the sea.
You're a scholar, not a general, firstborn. Why should we trust you?
The fortress is under attack. Ready on the wall. Hostiles incoming.
Oh, they're being over.
Catapulting abominations onto the western wall! Repel the invaders! Mira, how stand the beaches?
Fallen, sir, and a lot of good soldiers with them. We have to light the watchtowers.
Let Lion's Arch think we've lost? No, Mira, not yet. Claw Island's withstood much worse. Get on a trebuchet. The dead ship in the harbor holds their reinforcements. Sink it!
We did it! It's sinking! A small victory. By the gods, there's so many of them! Talon, this is no normal attack. The Lion Guard cannot hold. We're overwhelmed.
Claw Island has stood for nearly 100 years. It cannot fall. We'll fight them to the last soldier, to the last sword. We'll never serve.
Medic! We need a medic over here. Commander Talon, hold on. You'll be all right.
Quiet, Mira. Soldiers don't need lies. Retreat to the city. Tell the Commodore. We did all we could.
By your will, Commander. I swear to you, this isn't over.
Mira, the island is overwhelmed. We have to evacuate the Lion Guard and ignite the watchtowers to warn the city.
No, you'll never make it to the beacon with these risen monstrosities chasing you. We'll have to fight our way back. The Lion Guard will make a stand in the courtyard while you go for the tower. God's willing, the Risen will be too busy fighting us to stop you.
Your bravery is commendable, Deputy Mira, but your soldiers cannot survive a protracted battle against this many undead.
It's the duty of every Lion Guard to lay down our lives to protect our city. If that's what it takes, that's exactly what we'll do. We'll rally in the courtyard. You light the warning beacons. Now go! Push them back! Keep your courage up!
By the spirits! The dragon servants will never let our ship sail. If they surround the docks, they'll slaughter us, and Zaitan's forces will grow.
Our soldiers are too injured to fight. They can barely walk. We can't form a defense and still get them all aboard.
A heroic but nearly impossible task against great odds and an unrelenting enemy. This, my friend, is a death worthy of legend. Get the wounded to safety. Warn Lion's Arch. One day, you'll come back and retake this island. Of that, I have no doubt.
Forgal, you can't hold them off alone.
I lost my mate and children to the dragons. I thought my legend was buried with them, that I had no one to walk in my footsteps and tell my tale. Now, that's changed, my friend. Thank you for being my legacy. Tell my tale at the Hearthfires, where the Skalds sing of heroes. Go. I will not fail. You may win the battle, dragon, but you will never defeat our spirit. I am Thorgal, son of Kern. My father was the last Dolyak shaman. I am a war master of the Vigil. You will never... I am Thorgal, son of Kern. My father was...
Scouts are reporting undead just off the coast. It's a small force, but substantial enough for concern.
Zaitan's overconfident, assuming Claw Island was the only thing standing between its army and Lion's Arch.
Then it's our job to show the dragon how wrong it was. At ease, War Master. I heard what happened at Claw Island. The Lion Guard? No. The whole city owes you a debt of honor.
I just did my duty, ma'am. Forgal was the brave one. He gave his life to save us.
He will be remembered as one of the Vigil's great heroes, and he will be dearly missed.
Forgal's sacrifice held them back, but it was your bravery that led us to safety, my friend. I am grateful to you. If I can aid in this defense, War Master, I'm at your service.
You took out enough of Zaitan's forces to stop the imminent attack on Lion's Arch, but the dragon won't pause for long. There are reports of undead landing up and down the coast, likely an attempt to soften the city's perimeter. We need to organize the Vigil's forces and defend the beach. Come, let's review the troops. Crusaders! Forces of the Elder Dragon Zaitan stand on the very threshold of Lion's Arch. If Lion's Arch falls, the nations of Tyria will not be far behind. Fight for your homes. Fight for your families. This is what we've trained for. This is what we've bled for. This is what we will die to defend. We will hold this ground. We are the Vigil.
You can't do this alone. I'll stand with you.
Well done, soldiers. That should thin out the undead and take pressure off Lion's Arch for a while longer.
The vigil bought us time, but not advantage. The undead don't get weary, and they have an almost unending supply of troops. We must retake Claw Island and drive Zaitan from these shores. General Soulkeeper, there are many brave souls throughout Tyria who may be willing to lend a hand, if the vigil reached out to them.
True. A few come to mind. A Norn called Fibar has been making his name in the tournaments. Fights like a rabid drake. I also know two fine Charr soldiers that I've been trying to recruit for years. Snarl and Galena. They'd be a tremendous help.
Those sound promising. I could go, ma'am, and speak on behalf of the Order.
Good initiative. Pick one or the other, and do your best to bring them aboard. Meanwhile, I'll return to Vigil Keep and rally our crusaders there.
Whatever you decide, I'm going with you. You need the help, and I owe it to Forgel. I dreamed of Orr, as Kaith did. But where she saw a dragon to fight, I saw a land to heal. At least Kaith had a tangible target. I barely knew where to begin.
Hey, Galena. Still fighting the good fight?
I should have known you'd show up again, Maker. Here with another invention?
Better. I'm here with the challenge. Zaitan's undead army is taking Claw Island, and we need your skills to defeat them. General Soulkeeper says you're the best.
I'm the best. I'd fight Zaitan. Mists and mortars. I've got my hands full with these ember spirits. I can't fight a dragon. My orders are to bombard that hill until that ash trash creeps up there and kills the shaman. At this rate, it could take months.
Where are they, then? With your bombardment distracting the Flame Legion, it should be an easy matter to sneak up to that peak.
The Legion sent Snarl Backdraft to do the deed, but the lazy cur hasn't shown up. Wretched, good-for-nothing, soot-furred lout probably went swimming.
You stay here and keep the bombardment going. We'll look for Snarl. He may have run into something he can't handle.
We? There is no we, Twiggy. I'm not interested in a waterlogged ash deserter. Do whatever you please.
There's Snarl. Looks like they need help after all.
Strong!
Finally free. Of all the dumb luck. We were looking for Flame Legion and found a hidden base of separatist punks.
By my hand.
Ha! Stupid separatists. Getting in the way of me killing Flame Legion. Seriously, I hate those guys. Hey, what in the blue blazes are you doing here, Maker? I heard you were put on reserve duty.
I've joined the Vigil, and we need your skills, Snarl. Zaitan's armies overran Claw Island, and we need help to drive them back.
Claw Island? No! I was raised in Lion's Arch. There's no way I'm letting the city fall. Help me with this shaman, and I'll gladly join your fight.
That's excellent news. Do you think you can convince Galena to help us as well?
That squeaky old crankshaft? Well, for Lion's Arch, I suppose I can put up with anything. Sure, I can make it happen. Now come on, we've got a shaman to roll before we move out. Chalk up another dead fool of a flame to the Ash Legion.
To you? Oh, you glorified sneak thief. You'd never have gotten him without my bombardment.
Oh, you think so? Care to make a bet on that fur bucket? What say we go somewhere and see who tallies more enemy kills?
I'll take that bet back, Draft. You're as good as beaten. Name the place.
Claw Island, outside of Lion's Arch. Oh, I see you've heard what happened there. Good. Then you know what we're in for. Unless you're too scared.
Scared? Me? I'll pile those undead muzzle high, Backdraft. I'll see you at Claw Island, and we'll count our kills.
I have a request. We should visit the Pale Tree. The Mother has knowledge we shall need in the days ahead.
Of course, Trahan. I think that would be wise.
Mother Tree, I am sure by now you have heard of the destruction at Claw Island. Zaitan is attacking in force.
The soul of Tyria mourned as her children were cut down by the beast. The land wept, and the world shuddered.
My friend and I seek to right that wrong. We wish to fight Zaitan and take back what was lost. We've come to ask your counsel.
The answer is at the heart of Tyria's future, and your own. Both of you must face the darkness, become guiding stars in the night.
Is it even possible to defeat Zaitan?
Only with great courage. Come, I will show you a vision of your future, and the challenges to come.
Where does this road lead, Mother?
To the ancient city of Arar, the dragon's stronghold. That is your goal. Along the way, you will glimpse things that may yet come to pass.
These creatures are formidable. Tougher than the ones at Claw Island. How will we defeat them?
Alone, you cannot. But with unity, you will find that many impossible things can be achieved.
Defenders of Tyria, when Zaitan rose from slumber, the dragon found a long-dead nation and claimed it. The dragon expected the rest of Tyria to be as easily conquered. But we live, and we breathe, and we fight. All races, all orders, and all paths of life stand against Zaitan. The dragon is a fearsome enemy. It wants nothing more than to paralyze us with doubt. But I tell you this, we are not afraid. We will never kneel. Do you feel that? The dragon hears us. To Arar and victory! Is this a vision of the future? Mother, I do not understand. I'm no general.
You must be what Tyria needs you to be, my son. You have more courage than you realize. The past taints the future. Our heroes have fallen. They must be redeemed. You are the catalyst. You must bring them together. Heal their wounds.
Where were you? We needed you. Snaff. I couldn't protect him. I can still hear him screaming.
Someone was going to die no matter what I did. Snaff or my queen. I had to make a choice. You would have done the same. Any of you! If the person you loved was in danger, you would have done the same.
Destiny's Edge disbanded after their loss against the Elder Dragon, Kralkatorrik. To this day, they have unresolved grievances with one another.
It was your responsibility. Snaff trusted you, and you failed him.
I tried to keep him out of danger. I would have given anything to prevent his death.
It wasn't enough. You weren't enough. You should have died, Heir, instead of him.
Logan was called away by his queen. Yet Heir chose to fight the Elder Dragon. They lost. Glint died, along with Snaff, Soja's mentor and friend.
I've tried so very hard. They can't stop arguing. They can't understand that the dragons are more important. They'd throw everything away. Alone. I'm tired.
Come back to me. If the world must end, let us spend our last days in each other's arms.
These visions represent a possible future for Destiny's Edge, should they not resolve their quarrels. We need them to reconcile, if we're to defeat Zaitan. Where was I? Oh yes, the Guild Wars. Still angry over the loss of Ascalon, the Charr struck hard while humanity fought with itself. The Charr ravaged Ascalon with searing cauldrons and marched on ore. As hope failed, an Orion named Vizier Kilbron read the lost scrolls and unleashed an ancient curse. The curse annihilated the Charr army, but it destroyed Or as well. A cataclysm plunged the nation into the ocean. Everything was lost.
This is the tomb of the kings of Or. Walk inside and seek truth, but be warned, the future can change in the blink of an eye.
To see the sky, feel once more the wind, and the sun. Although my nation is drowned, a slow blood still pulses in its vein. Or was once the heart of Tyria, so full of life. I was the last of a line of proud rulers. Now my nation is enslaved. What do you seek here? Or has nothing left to give, save ash and bones.
We came to fight Zaitan. Can you give us counsel?
Zaitan can be defeated, but that will not save Or. The land must be cleansed of this poison. Seek the source.
Is Zaitan the source, or is there some other poison that fouls Or? Please, tell us.
Seek the source. Cleanse Or. Seek the source.
Zaitan, the elder undead dragon that pulled Or from the depths. The massacre of Or gave the dragon fertile ground to create its horrific army. Zaitan's power does not end here. In slaughter, its army grows stronger. Claw Island was just the beginning. The dragons are destruction. They will not stop until all life on Tyria is destroyed.
Your last challenge on the road to Arra will be the Guardian of the Gate. Beyond this, I cannot foretell. Once before, I gave this sword to a beloved son. Now, I pass it on to you, Traherne. Its name is Caladbolg. Bear it with honor, and the sword will never fail you. Test yourselves against the Guardian, then return to me in the grove.
Everyone, come!
That had to hurt. I feel strong.
To know the future, even the mere possibility can be a great burden. I am sorry, brave heroes, that you must walk this path.
Must these things come to pass, Mother? Must I take up Caladbolg and travel into the heart of Or?
You must both take up this mantle. Traherne, your duty is to cleanse Or. Your friend shall aid you, and then face the dragon.
And Claw Island? Can we retake it and save Lion's Arch?
I believe so. But that will not be your first test. The dragon seeks to destroy its enemies before they can strike. I see within the dream that Zaitan's forces enter battle, not against Lion's Arch, but at the heart of your order.
My order headquarters? No! How could that be? How could Zaitan even know?
Those who have been corrupted reveal everything to Zaitan. Nothing is secret, least of all those places where his enemies hide.
If my friends are in danger, I have to go to them. They have no warning. They'll be slaughtered.
I will go with you. Our fates are bound together, and from this day forward, we fight as one.
Farewell, valiant souls. May your wild hunt be successful, and may your courage illuminate the dark of night.
That sounds like battle. The Vigil needs us. Zaitan's showing more intelligence. Striking at the heart of
War
your
Master,
order?
Charr!
It's almost
Thank the
unfathomable.
alchemical processes that inspired your presence. We're under siege! Blast! What kind of foul magic was that?
We must reconfigure our strategy.
Bone walls. Those require powerful magic. We face no mere foot soldiers. There's an Orion vizier in there.
They've cut us off. The Orions are protecting the weaponry that's battering our keep's fortifications. We have to destroy those siege engines.
Vigil Keep has defensive weaponry on the far ramparts, but they were damaged in the first assault. We didn't have the manpower to repair them. If we could clear the walls of undead and safeguard her path to the catapults, Blacksmith Von Heck can fix anything.
Then we'll have to give her that chance. Let's get to the top of the walls and check in with General Soulkeeper.
I salute your bravery, my friend. Strike hard and fast, and we'll guard your back. Form up, Vigil. Time to smash some rotting heads.
It's the War Master! We're saved!
Hail, War Master. Good to see you.
Praise Wolf that you're here, War Master. War Master! By the alchemy's twisting cogs!
We kill them, wave after wave, and still they keep coming.
Movement in the keep. Oh, it's the General. Stand at attention.
Hostiles eradicated in the inner keep. They were tunneling under the walls.
Reporting for duty, General. I hope you don't mind that I brought a friend.
War Master, Traherne, good timing. We need every able-bodied soldier we can deploy. Ephod, what's our status?
I must report defeat, ma'am. There's an Orion wizard down there. We weren't able to get through the magical barriers.
Disappointing, but understandable. Secondary recommendations? Anyone?
Effet says there's a blacksmith who can repair our catapults. Traherne and I can clear the ramparts while Effet falls behind to protect the civilian.
Once the Orion siege weapons are destroyed, they'll have to lower the magical walls if they intend to continue the attack on Vigil Keep.
Without those walls, I'm confident we'd have been successful, General. This time, there'll be no stopping us.
Excellent. While you do that, the Crusaders and I will defend the wall. Move out!
Blacksmith Von Hez, the daughter of Bygarth, one of the most legendary Nornsmiths. She can fix anything.
Bring it on, you risen dung beetles! You won't break this!
Wish I'd had time to fix these before the battle. You never know how to prioritize till you get attacked by...
The Orion siege weapons are down! You did it, War Master!
No time to celebrate. The undead are making one last push.
The Orions dare to strike at our keep. Well, they shall see how a cornered lion fights. Fight to your last breath. To your last beat of courage. We stand between Tyria and death, and we cannot fail.
Take her down, and the battle is won.
Strength fills me.
The breath of life shall leave you. I shall watch it fail.
Nice of me. Well done, Crusaders. The Orions are defeated and the keep is safe. 3 cheers for the Vigil!
Hurrah! Victory for the Vigil!
It is fortunate that we arrived when we did. Those undead were about to overrun the keep. The Pale Tree is very wise. If Vigil Keep had fallen, we'd never be able to defend Lion's Arch.
Do you remember what she said? With unity, Many impossible things can be achieved. She's right, Trahan. The Vigil can't fight Zaitan alone. The dragon is too powerful. But there is another way.
Whatever you're planning, know that I will stand with you.
Thank you, Trahan. Come, let's talk to General Soulkeeper.
Warmaster, your timing was fortuitous. You and Trahan have saved our order.
It was our honor. If you don't mind, we need to brief you on recent events. Much has occurred in a very short time.
General, I've become convinced that the Vigil can't stand against Zaitan alone. We may have an army, but we don't have the information or resources.
Huh. If it were anyone other than you, Warmaster, I might think you were a coward. But after what you did on the field today, continue.
The other orders of Tyria are as concerned about the dragons as we are. The Vigil should speak with them and launch a unified effort.
Speak with them? But the Order of Whispers are underhanded backstabbers, and the Priory are simpering scholars.
You're wrong, Efoot. They simply have their own ways of fighting Zaitan. Both would be staunch allies in this war.
I don't like it, and I don't trust them. But I do trust you, Warmaster. And I trust Trahan. If he says we're up against overwhelming odds, I believe him.
Go to the other orders, set up a meeting. Tell them the Vigil offers an alliance.
Thank you, General. I'll do everything I can.
Enough bickering, all of you. Our real enemy lurks across the waves. Zaitan's servants march at the gates of Lion's Arch. We must band together, or we will all be destroyed.
When I joined my order, I swore to fight Zaitan. I will die for Tyria if I must. However, I believe that together, we can win. The Vigil has shown tremendous courage in the fight against the dragons. This alliance will require courage as well. Why back down now? The Order of Whispers has seen nations rise and fall. You cannot hide from this threat. You need to make a stand. And who knows more about the dragons than the Priory? Just think of how much there is to learn. Where else but in Orr?
By the worlds of eternal alchemy, you're bold. But you're correct. Knowledge is useless if it is not used. We shall aid you.
The Order of Whispers has worked for generations to bring nations together. We can do no less now. Our blades are yours.
The Vigil fears nothing, not even ill-tempered, undisciplined louts like these two. We'll join, but I insist there's a decent hierarchy. Who will lead this compact?
Logic dictates that it cannot be a member of any of our orders, lest one be seen as above the other two. Quite a conundrum.
I've already considered that. Trahan, you've never joined an order, yet they all respect you. You've studied Orr all your life. Will you lead us?
I never wanted to be a soldier. I'm only a seeker of truth. But, yes, I will lead this pack to the gates of Arah, and together, we will see Zaitan destroyed. First, to Claw Island. Let us send our defiant message straight into the heart of Orr. Tyria stands as one. All my life, I've watched Orr, studied it, researched the abominations that Zaitan spawns. I have avoided the challenge of my wild hunt. I hid, always claiming I was not yet ready. I did not think Orr could be cleansed. I feared failure, but you're right. It is time to act. We'll either cleanse the land or return to it.
Marshal Trahan, sir. I'm Efoot, liaison for the Vigil troops. The Lion Guard are clearing some road, but the inner courtyard gate is blocked.
My Priory explorers brought a biomantic siege capacitor, Marshal. Our top mystics have been working on it for some time. It could be useful.
I've heard of that device. Whisper's agent stole a copy of the blueprints, but we couldn't figure out your bizarre telemetry. There's a working prototype?
Of course. Nothing's beyond the Priory's intelligence. Unfortunately, it's a portable model.
so it lacks the power to blast through a fortified gate.
What if we amplified this capacitor in some way?
Clever. The signal towers use magical panels to increase brightness. If we reversed the panel's direction and adjusted the enchantment, we could amplify the beam.
It's improvised, off the cuff, and madcap. But you know, it just might work. Still, there are far too many undead between here and the signal tower.
Leave that part to me. The Vigil may not understand your boo-boo matic wheeze calculator, but we know plenty about killing undead.
Then we have a plan. Commander Efoot, move out. Your crusaders can guide the way.
Break down that bone gate, so this offensive is over!
Strong!
One reconstellated configurer coming up.
Well done. We've secured the docks.
What about the courtyard, Marshal? That big dragon thing will be on us the minute we charge in there.
We need to retake the ramparts and deploy siege weapons. Then we can cover the sky while we clear the courtyard.
I can help there. Priory alchemists have crafted special ammunition to weaken champions like that one. We can force that monster to the ground.
Once you get it down, we'll get it dead. Put your trust in Vigil Steel.
We've taken control of the siege points. Now we must join the fray. Forward!
Near the courtyard.
Round, then make a coordinated strike. On my order! Fire! Captured Claw Island, and in so doing, saved Lion's Arch as well. I do not know what lies ahead of us, my friend, but for the first time, I have hope. Hope that this alliance can save Tyria from the dragons. Hope for the future. Hope for all.
This is a momentous day. The tide of history has changed, Charr.
Indeed. Many people doubted. Even the Orders weren't truly certain it could be done. Never before has Tyria been so united. Let all hear the echo of this battle. We can defeat the dragons. We will.
Zhaitan waits at the center of war, surrounded by a nation of undead. The battle to destroy the dragon will not be easy, but it can be won.
There is a ruined fortress at the edge of Or, south of the Shattercleft Hills. From that high cliff, you can see the spires of Or rising beyond the Straits of Devastation. We will take this fort and make it our own. The Pact will rebuild it. We will place our banners, and from there we will strike at the dragon's heart. I will make plans with the leaders of the orders and gather troops at that location. You deserve some well-earned rest, my friend. Join me when you are ready, and together we will find a way to slay Zaitan. Thank you all for coming. We're here because Claw Island proved the value of cooperation. Our pact has already achieved remarkable results. As the pact's leader, I am adopting the rank of Marshal. I'd also like to present my second in command, one of the heroes of Claw Island, who will bear the rank of Commander. To defeat Zaitan and cleanse Ore, the pact needs to go on the offensive. For that, we need a headquarters. I suggest the abandoned fortress on Terzetto Bay.
I know the place. Formidable, easily defensible, and right on Zaitan's doorstep. A solid decision, Marshal Traherne. The Vigil is with you.
It is a wise choice. The Priory will also follow you to the Pact's new headquarters and on into Ore.
No argument here, Marshal. It's a smart call. Count the Order of Whispers in as well.
Excellent. I'll begin preparing our new headquarters at the Terzetto site, which I have codenamed Fort Trinity. I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you for coming. I'm Marshal Traherne, and I've invited each of you here because you are the finest smiths and crafters in all of Tyria. I'm forging a pact to deal with the Elder Dragons. The 3 major orders of Tyria have agreed to join, but we also need you and your skills.
It would be an honor to stand with you, Firstborn.
Your envoy already approached me with a similar offer, Marshal. I've decided to accept. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
Ha! There's only one finest smith in Tyria, and you're looking at him. I stand ready to prove it.
Excellent. I have a list of potential projects. My quartermasters will make sure you have the tools and raw materials you need. Please begin at once.
Somebody, help me! The team studying Rancor ruins was overwhelmed by the undead.
I'm glad to see you. Something is definitely unnatural here. That miasma settled in shortly after we arrived. Fortunately, our allies sent help. Agent Zuri from the Order of Whispers and Crusader Afanan from the Vigil.
At your service, killing Orions is my purpose in life, but in the spirit of our newly forged union, this feels extra noble.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander. Take a good look. Once I get started, you won't see me coming or going.
Noted. Our objective is to locate a missing Priory team. Traherne, this is your mission. How do you want us to handle it?
By playing to our respective strengths. Zuri goes in to conduct stealth reconnaissance, while the rest of us take the main path through the ruins. We'll draw the attention of any Orions, and thin out their numbers as we proceed. Let's all rendezvous at the far end of the site.
Are we glad to see you? Never seen a flood of Orions like that, and I've been doing this for years.
You're safe now. Stick close to us and we'll get you out of here intact.
What about our second team? They went ahead to secure a recent discovery right before the undead tide came in. They might still be alive.
I can confirm that. There are tracks leading into the caves. It's a defensible position, so the second team could be dug in there.
Then we're not leaving until we're sure, one way or the other. Spread out and protect the researchers. We're going on.
Another dead end. Militarily, I'd say we're being funneled into a trap.
I've seen the Orions swarm and I've seen them lurk, but I've never seen them set traps. Are they capable of tactical thinking?
Oh, yes. I've seen them do exquisitely horrible things. If the Priory team found the artifact I suspect they found, it all makes sense.
They were looking for a dwarven tome. Why would Zaitan care so much about an ancient book of lore?
I believe it contains information about the last time the dragons rose. Its very existence proves they can be beaten back. Our enemy wants to keep that information from us.
How does the dragon even know about it? Zaitan doesn't strike me as much of a reader.
Zaitan knows everything its minions know. One of its corrupted servants, while alive or after death, must have seen the tome. Commander, to me. I believe I can get us out of this situation, but I'll need you to protect me while I do it. We're trapped, but I can summon the reinforcements we need to fight our way out. My minions will aid in our escape. Buy me some time to prepare.
Welcome, Sylvari. Lured you here, trapped you here, now you die here. The elements bow before me, and I bow before Zaitan. He willed your death. He shall have it.
I was born to undo your master's work. If I must kill you to achieve that, so be it.
The dragon commands and we answer. All will serve Zaitan.
Well done, Marshal Traherne. That Orient Ugly looked nigh unstoppable. You did it.
The Pact did it. Our combined efforts made this happen, just as we'll defeat Zaitan together. Hopefully, our chances of doing just that have been improved with the information contained inside the Dwarven Tome.
We can help you there. I'm fluent in Ancient Dwarf. Get us out of here and I'll work on that tome until it's completely translated.
Done. Zuri, please escort the research teams back to Concordia. Commander, you're with me.
Good to see you again, Commander. After Claw Island, I've been looking forward to working with you again. On to business. Our main problem in this region is Crate. We're losing too many potential recruits to their slave pens. Our mission is to rescue as many slaves as possible, though a Sylvari prisoner named Highwell is top priority. He's a warden of exceptional skill.
Understood, Crusader. Each prisoner we free is an innocent, and a potential soldier against Zaitan.
Exactly. They're going to waste rotting in a Crate cell. And Commander, I'd be honored if you'd call me a Pasha. Charr and we'll put him to work. We should look higher, in the tower. There'll be more prisoners there. Warden Highwell, we've come to get you out of here. Are there any other prisoners we should find?
I don't think so. There was a Largos, but she escaped on her own. Strange and terrifying creature, that one. Apparently, she got herself captured to get close to the slave master because he was worthy prey. Then she let herself out and went after him. Another thing, the Crate kept talking about a magical orb they used to keep Zaitan's corruption out. I never saw a single undead creature here. I think their orb could be real.
That may be. There's no corruption in these waters, even though the Orions definitely have a presence here.
This orb is definitely worth investigating. For now, though, let's concentrate on getting you and the others to safety.
This is tricky. I know the Largos are consummate assassins, but I've never tried to track one. Never even seen one, actually. Of course, very few have. They conceal themselves until ready to strike, and they take pride in efficient kills. Taking down dangerous prey to challenge themselves and prove their worth? They'd be right at home in Holbrook.
I'd love to hunt alongside a Largo someday, but until then, how do we go about finding this one?
By following her trail of kills. Largos are always planning or executing their next kill. Find her latest victims, and we'll find the Largos.
You are an interruption. State your business, or become mine.
We've come to speak with you about the Crate Slave Master. We need to know about their magical orb that supposedly prevents Orion corruption.
You speak plainly, and you hide your fear well. Still, your needs don't interest me, and I have no need of you.
My people are hunters like yours. We stalk, we wait, we kill. Test us. The commander and I will prove our worth.
So, it's a challenge then. Very well. I am currently amusing myself between targets. My current focus is the great sea monster in the caves nearby. Honor the Tetios Compact. That is the heart of Largos. Track it, kill it, bring me proof. Then I will tell you what I know about the crate.
That had to hurt.
Impressive. I will present this trophy to the great houses in your names. You have earned the right of introduction. I am Saya al-Rajid. Now, as we agreed, the orb you seek is a thing of legend, known only to deep dwellers. Its origins are lost, but it is extremely powerful. It may pose its own dangers, but it does counter the undead dragon's influence. Wherever the orb is, those who die near it do not rise again. The Crate are keeping it in constant transit between their largest strongholds to maximize its effect. I suggest a plan. I was brought close to the slave master when I allowed myself to be captured. If you do the same, you may reach the orb.
I'd rather snatch it in transit while it's vulnerable. The pack desperately needs to rein in Zaitan's power.
We have a difficult decision here, but at least now it can be an informed decision. Thank you for your help, Saya al-Rajid.
May your steps be relentless.
We're ready to go, Commander. The Order of Whispers has already seeded disinformation to lead the Crate here. As far as they know, the Inquest set up some troublesome Pact soldiers to be sacrificed to the Crate prophets. It's too much to hope that they'd toss us in the same cell. We need a plan for finding each other once they separate us.
We also need to grab our weapons as soon as we break out of their cages. Then, we can link up to search for the orb.
Agreed. If they cage you underwater, look for me high up in the tower, and vice versa. I'll do the same. These slave-taking snakes will believe we're more helpless victims. I look forward to giving them a nasty surprise.
My lovelies, stand perfectly still, and you might live a while longer.
Don't struggle now, you pile of limbs. You're coming with us.
You secured the armored female?
Of course, and her weapons. You took care of the other one?
I did. The beast hungers. In the Prophet's name, soon it shall feed. jelly bag!
That's it! Break that crate's back! I'd be out by now if not for him. I see fear in his eyes. Don't let up! He's fading fast! Finish him off! Thank the spirits. Now crack this cage open and let me out. I heard the crate say the orb is deep at the bottom of a cave. Let's start swimming.
Welcome back, sweetling. We have a special place reserved.
Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm. I was intrigued by your decision to follow my lead, so I shadowed you. You handled yourselves well, until your partner miscalculated. I realized her recapture wasn't part of your plan, but it was too late.
Is she alive? I need to get the orb to Charr at Fort Trinity right away, but I can't abandon Apatia.
You have no choice. The crate overwhelmed her and took her. Among my people, we would say her steps have faltered, and move on. I will deliver the orb for you. I would enjoy visiting Traherne again. I owe him, and Largos always keep our oaths. You should go too. The crate will be back in force. The longer you stay, the more likely you'll end up lost, dead, or on a torture rack. That won't help your friend.
I'll go. Charr needs that orb, and I need to be at Fort Trinity. But I will come back for Apatia. I swear it.
Greetings, Commander. I was sorry to pull you out of the field, but you and the crate orb you discovered are needed here.
I go wherever you need me, sir. But I'm not through with those crate yet. They have Apatia. How are things here? Fort Trinity seems to be shaping up well.
I hope so. We've seen a huge increase in undead activity while we've been establishing our defenses. I believe a major attack is imminent. All the signs are there. Our outermost defensives have suffered a series of probing attacks, and we've lost several long-range scouts. We have the orb and powerful explosives developed by our top demolitionist, but there have been disturbing glitches in communication. Fort Trinity is not yet secure. Worst of all, our Asura gates are not functioning, and nobody can tell me why. Magical or mechanical failure, saboteurs, it's all very disturbing. I want you to double-check our defenses, starting with the lumber camp. They've lost a lot of workers, and we need that timber.
We're behind schedule. Traherne needs more lumber to strengthen our fortifications.
The last logging party we sent out is still missing. We have no idea what happened to them. Until we do, we can't risk sending any more.
All right. Organize a search party to find the missing loggers. Once we find them.
The orb. They looked like packed soldiers, but then they changed. By the time I realized they were using illusions, it was too late. If they get the gates working, we'll lose them and the orb. We need explosives to get through.
Your patch is finished. Your orb, your fortress, and your Asura gates belong to us.
Feel strong.
We can't lose the orb now. Keep them away from me.
than 100 years, ore has been lost. Despoiled, corrupted, ruined by the presence of a dragon, an infection, withering the heart of Tyria. Fort Trinity symbolizes our determination. It stands as a mark of our unity against the dragons. From here, we will prevail. We will fight to rend the darkness with steel and flame, always looking toward the dawn. Our victory at Fort Trinity will show the world that we can strike against the dragons. When we are ready, we will prove that even in the Sanctum of Ore, they are not untouchable. We can reach the dragon's lair in the heart of Ore. We can assault Arar. We can destroy Zaitan before the dragon's infection claims us all. This battle is over. We can triumph. But the war has just begun. I'm glad we've got the dragon's attention. I want Zaitan to know the names and faces of those who will defeat it. Fort Trinity is secure for now, so if you have no objections, I'd like us to turn our attention to Lion Guard Apatia.
Thank you, sir. I know she's still in that great city somewhere. She helped us secure the orb. We owe it to her to get her out.
Agreed. I'll wrap things up here and form a rescue party. We'll meet you near the Restless Deeps. Let me be clear. Our goal here is to find and retrieve our missing comrade, Apatia. This place reeks of Zaitan's touch, so don't take unnecessary chances. Stay alert. We move fast, we stick to the surface, and we stay together. Let's begin. Stay out of these waters. I recognize the stench of this particular Orion corruption. It's more toxic than any poison.
I wonder if that's what happened to the crate. When I was here before, they were swarming over this whole place.
We can't assume they're gone. If the corruption killed them, they likely rose as fresh undead. Follow me, everyone. Single file, and watch your step. I don't want anyone falling into this water. The orb was the only thing protecting these crate from Zaitan's influence. And now it will protect Fort Trinity.
Come to join your friend. She loves Victory is yours.
I see her.
But Apatia
She's in that cave
is
across the way.
ours.
We'll have to climb down to reach her. There should be a beam connecting to her cave.
By the Pale Tree, Zaitan's corruption has claimed Apatia as well as the crate.
Is she aware? Is Apatia still in there suffering? Or is she just a mindless husk? Either way, this is a cruel end for a noble hunter.
It doesn't have to be the end. Having an undead captive to study, especially one we knew well, could be a huge boon to the Pact.
Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing here that we couldn't get from any one of 1,000 other undead. Apatia's gone, and we have to set her spirit free.
And when we're done here, we travel to Hallbreck to tell her legend to the Skalds, so she'll be remembered forever.
That is the Norn way. Very well. Apatia admired you greatly, Commander, so you should be the one to put her to rest. Then, to Hallbreck. Rest well, brave Norn. May the spirits of the wild guide you to the mists.
Marshal Trahan, should we accompany you to Hallbreck?
Not necessary. You three return to Fort Trinity. The Commander and I will take it from here. Hear me, Hallbreck. I sing of Apatia and the legend she forged. She was many things. A lion guard, a soldier, a hero, a friend. She joined the Pact because fighting one dragon was not enough. She was determined to fight them all. Jormag, Zaitan, and any that follow. She repeatedly proved her valor and worth at Claw Island, killing scores of undead and saving hundreds of innocent lives. Moreover, she helped recover an artifact that now shields Fort Trinity from Zaitan's influence. She gave us the footing we need to strike down the dragon. Apatia's life ended on that mission, but her glorious legend lives on. Now, hear the words of the last person to fight by her side. Commander?
Let the bards sing, and the skalds proclaim her glorious name forever. Join me now, until the Shiver Peaks themselves ring with the sound of Apatia.
For too long, Tyria has suffered. We gather now with newfound purpose. Zaitan's servants storm our homelands. It is time to bring the battle back to Or. This tide will wash over Arar and cleanse the dragon's corruption. Together, we will prevail. Let the ships sail. Let the troops march. And let us find victory!
A stirring speech, Charr.
Absolutely. You've turned into a real war leader, Marshal.
Now if we can just keep the impetus you started, then we'll have a chance.
Thank you, friends. May fortune bless you. Good to see you. Let's get this briefing underway. May I have a word, Commander? I know you think you failed Apatia, but I've experienced that kind of failure, and this isn't it. Every decision I make as Marshal of the Pact means people die. That's the burden I've been called to carry. Apatia was a Norn, and we gave her a proper Norn send-off. She lived and died a hero, and now her legend goes on. So must we. Apatia gave her life to defeat Zaitan. The best way to honor her is to see that task completed. There's someone I'd like you to meet. Our visitor may cause alarm, so privacy is paramount. Sire, it's now safe to reveal yourself.
Greetings, Marshal Traherne. As you've requested, I've come to honor my oath.
Excellent. Let's speak with the Commander and give you an assignment. Thank you for your patience, Commander. Allow me to introduce the revered Sire Al-Rashid.
No need. We are already acquainted. In the name of the Concordat of the Tetios houses, I greet you with respect.
I'm glad to see you again, Sire. May your steps be relentless.
As I mentioned, I have long owed Traherne. Now he has called upon me to honor my oath.
Scouts have discovered a sixth temple in Or, a lost shrine to a fallen god hidden underwater in the Strait of Malediction. Abaddon, the human god of secrets, was cast out of Arar by the other deities, and his name was erased from history. Very little remained. Zaitan craves something inside that temple, so we must get there first. Sire will accompany you as a guide.
It will be dangerous. You will need all your skills to travel with me.
I've yet to meet anything I couldn't overcome.
As I remember. I look forward to this, Commander. Until then, may your steps be relentless. In the name of the Concordat, I greet you, Commander. The way ahead is dark and uncompromising.
Exactly what I'd expect from the ancient temple of a dead god.
Yes, of course. The Risen have already bypassed the wards and breached the temple. We must exterminate them. Be warned. There are dangers here not of the dragon. Powers ancient and unseen still occupy these halls. Look, the currents shift. The ocean's flow changes. These shrines and orbs must be how we gain entry.
Intruders, you trespass on the dragon's lands. You do not serve Zaitan.
No, slave creature. We serve our oaths, and those oaths demand your death.
So be it. To death and beyond.
Zaitan demands your death.
Return to Or. Kill them all!
Submit to the dragon. Stupid creature, die, and the dragon will take you. Oh no, the dragon is angry!
The dragon roars cours in fear. These ancient foundations will not withstand the sound. Escape quickly, before we are buried forever. Well fought and well won. Most impressive, my ally.
It was victory, but we still lost the artifact.
True, but we've made a dragon know fear. That, Commander, is a victory to relish.
Maybe we can still salvage this. What do you know about that creature we faced?
I do not know for certain. What is certain is that you've just encountered two of Zaitan's most powerful servants, and that they escaped your grasp.
Not for long. I'm reporting to Traherne right away. We'll see if we can't organize a pursuit.
I will also carry this news when I return to be freed from my oath. May your steps be relentless, Hunter.
Excuse me, friends, but I must speak with the commander. I shall send for the rest of you soon. Welcome, Commander. I'd like you to meet Valiants Tegwin and Keris. They'll be assisting us with our mission. They've supplied the artifact we needed to lure out the eyes of Zaitan, an enchanted mirror that allows one to spy on ore.
It's a good plan, but is this the right bait? Its magic has to be strong enough to catch the attention of the eyes.
It should be. The mirror is more than just a vanity item. It's a portal to and from ore. The last time I used it, I was transported here.
Where I rescued her. Well, helped Traherne rescue her. Now I'm worried that the eyes will know more about the mirror than we do. It's Orion, right? And so are they.
We'll have to take that risk. Stand ready, everyone. I feel Zaitan's influence closing in on us. Whatever draws near is deadly.
You cannot hide. You cannot surprise me. I see all. Zaitan's gaze cannot be avoided. Your mirror belongs to the dragon. Soon, all will belong to the dragon.
The mirror's responding to his commands. He's activating a portal.
Attack! Stop him, or we'll have an entire risen army out here.
No good. It's drawing power from the mirror.
Together you may be strong, but I will weaken you. Come, Zaitan's army awaits to absorb.
It's pulling us in. The mirror is blocking my magic. I can't stop him. I can blunt the effect, but...
Hello again. When they sent us to patrol this wretched land, I never thought I'd see you here.
Come no further. Commander, do you know these people? I didn't realize we had ogres in the Pact.
You little stick. What do you know about it? We joined the Pact after your commander saved my people and showed us we had to join the fight against the dragons.
It's all right, Lagula. Tegwin is just being cautious. We're glad to have you. There's an Eye of Zaitan hunting us, and we'll need your support.
Done. You take the lead. We'll follow with our pets.
Ouch. Looks like you saved me this time, Tegwin. I'm done with that mirror, by the way. Forever.
That makes two of us. If we hadn't run into the commander's friends, we would have been in trouble.
This effort was difficult, but it proved fruitful. Thanks to you, my friends, we now have an eye to study.
Is that wise? The eye may still be connected to Zaitan. Even dead, it could still be dangerous.
This encounter proved that we don't know enough about our enemies. Studying this eye will address that.
My point exactly. I'm going to hand this monster over to my best researchers. Meet me at Fort Trinity and we'll get started. Commander, may I present Professor Gore, who pioneered the theory of elder dragons consuming magic, and Scholar Vivian, a top expert on the Risen. We're going to send a small etheric charge through the eye of Zaitan's corpse to try and project what it's seen. The goal is to witness what it saw right before we killed it. And since Orion magic is so unpredictable, you're here to keep things under control.
Ah, but unpredictability yields unexpected results. That's not always a bad thing. In fact, that's how most new discoveries are made.
True, but most new discoveries don't bring the wrath of Zaitan down on their discoverers. Manipulating the dead eye may do precisely that.
We don't know what manipulating the dead eye will do. That's why we're not in Fort Trinity, and why the commander's with us. Let's begin.
Aetheric readings normal. Ready to begin testing.
Excellent. Activate the Aetheric infuser on my mark. 3, 2, 1, activate. All readings are within acceptable parameters. Subject is stable, it's working.
Confirmed. The projector beam is now ready for firing. Commander, if you'll do the honors.
The apparatus is functioning. How will we know when we have usable results?
We should see something any moment now. Look! There! There's our result!
It's working. We're seeing the last sights the eye saw before it died. Soldiers? Where are they marching to, and why?
Kill everything!
Is that some kind of undead servant? What's it carrying? Looks like a scout of some kind. Filthy-looking creature. Did you see that? Zaitan's agent just consumed a powerful magical artifact.
I saw it, Professor. Your theory is now a confirmed fact. But what was that creature?
Let's finish testing before we interpret our results.
Marshal Traherne! Look there, another eye. What does it mean?
I'm not sure. Commander, to the front. Something's not right.
The alchemy.
By all 6 gods. What was that?
That roar and that other eye, it looked at us, through us. And Zaitan must see what it sees.
We're not done yet, nor are we out of danger. Commander, to me. Are you well? Now to strip away the veil that hides Zaitan's minions. Stand ready. There's no way to know how many we'll face, but we cannot risk taking any along with us. I sense no more of the Risen. I think we're clear. Our findings deserve serious scrutiny, but I'd like to hear your initial reactions.
I think we now have conclusive proof that the dragon sees through these eyes. The readings, the ebb and flow of magical energy, it all fits.
If these eyes are how Zaitan sees, maybe that all-mouth creature is how Zaitan eats.
I concur. Zaitan's agents serve as extensions of its body, acting on its will. The eyes survey, the mouth consumes.
That answers many questions raised by my theory, actually. Now we know how the dragon hunts and eats. That's progress.
We can't let up. If killing the eye partially blinded Zaitan, then killing the mouth should deprive it of sustenance. Pack scouts have traced one of the mouths to its lair. I want you to head out there. and ensure that Zaitan starts going hungry.
Commander, Bull Strixel, demolitionist. Per Marshal Trahern's orders, we're ready to assault the mouth of Zaitan's supply route. Agent Zri has the details.
An Orion bone ship that we call the Blight brings powerful artifacts here on a regular basis. This bluff is its drop-off point. The mouth's servants carry the cargo back to the manse, always via the same route. We're ready to hit them at each stage of the delivery.
When the ship appears, we open up with this turret, provided by Ballistician's Backdraft and Edge Crusher.
Any artifacts that don't sync with the Blight will be rushed back to the manse, and we've mined the route with high explosives. We'll pursue and mop up the couriers. Once they're all dead, we proceed to the manse and kill the mouth.
Very good. Show me to the turret, and let's get ready for the Blight.
Why are you messing with that? Stick to your cannons and leave the turrets to me. On
I'm not
recon.
messing with it. I'm fine-tuning it. You set it up wrong.
Oh, how would you know? This is delicate equipment, and the only tool you have is a hammerhead.
Well, I'll remember that, Ash Trash. When we get back to Trinity, I'll take a hammer to your head.
Edge Crusher, the commander's here. Is your weapon set up?
Huh. It's not perfect, but it'll send that Orion tub to the bottom of the sea.
Time to test that theory. Here comes the Blight now.
All yours, Commander. Let her rip.
Death! Good! Everyone, call! Kill him! Need more turrets.
Someday I'll get back to killing live things. Did we get them all at least?
Negative. We have movement in the water. Looks like the couriers have cargo and are in motion.
Once they hit those charges we planted, they'll go boom and never reach the mouth.
One way to make sure. Come on, let's cut Zaitan's delivery boys to pieces.
Death! Good!
It's the insects who sank my ship and stole my property. You've chosen a terrible time to be heroes.
We're here to deliver a message to Zaitan, and it requires your corpse.
Let's hear you say that after I devour you and all you possess. Your magic won't replace the items you stole, but it will please the dragon.
Come and get me, Bellyface. If you do swallow me, I'll make sure to stick in your throat.
Another meal for my master.
Did you hear that? That's the sound of a cranky dragon who ain't getting fed today.
Yeah, but when do we get to carve chunks off the dragon itself? I'm tired of all these squishy minions. They don't even bleed right.
I actually agree with you. That doesn't feel right. Can't have Trahern's Unity claptraps spoiling decades of interlegion rivalry.
It's a complete victory, Commander. Not only did we kill the mouth, but we've got Snarling Galena making nice.
They deserve to celebrate. We all do. Trahern's taking Zaitan down, one step at a time.
You'd better get back to Fort Trinity with the good news. We'll clean up here. A pleasure serving with you, Commander.
Welcome, friends and allies. We've just defeated a powerful mouth of Zaitan, effectively cutting off one of the dragon's major supply lines. Now, we have to press our advantage. Reducing Zaitan's food supply was a good start. It's time to stem the flow of reinforcements.
Reinforcements? You mean...
He means dead bodies. Zaitan's minions on the mainland are gathering and shipping corpses to Or in massive numbers.
Precisely. Our next move is to confront Zaitan in Or. Before we strike, we need to weaken its position as much as possible.
A sound strategy. Starve the enemy and cripple its army before we invade. You learn fast, Marshal.
I have to be, General. Now, the commander and I need to confer and choose the best course of action.
It's amazing how fast we traveled while completely submerged. Look how far we came. Now the hard work begins, though.
That's right. I expect heavy resistance, but we need to push deep into the Ark's main hold. That's where Maeva comes in.
I'm ready. I have plenty of Ascalonian Ghostfire. It'll spark a conflagration to consume the Ark and everything in it. Remarkable stuff, Ghostfire. It's unrelenting and it burns underwater. When we're done, there won't be any bodies left for Zaitan to reanimate. Hats off to the Charr. They took their most implacable enemy's most dangerous weapon and made it their own, and then they gave it to us.
A demonstration that we need to work together to defeat Zaitan. Commander, it's your mission. Lead on.
Burning much faster than I expected. Our tests weren't done in water with this much salinity. It's accelerating the spectral combustion. We've lost control of the situation. Evacuate now!
Wait, did you hear that? Those are the spinning blades of a Charr chopper. Backup is coming.
We saw those ghostly flames and came as fast as we could. Bit ahead of schedule, wasn't it? A bit. Turns out Ghostfire works a little too well in these conditions. Thanks for the sharp eye and the quick save.
Yes, excellent work. We didn't just deprive Zaitan of a shipload of soldiers, we destroyed the ship itself.
That's right. This tub is done making deliveries to Or. The Dragon will just have to make do with its existing shamblers.
Congratulations. We need to get you out of here, fast. I'm aboard if you're coming.
After you, Commander. This success has me thinking. When we return, I wish to discuss a few other areas of the Pack's mission that could use your help. You're just in time, Commander. We've established a perimeter, and we're shoring up the cavern's defenses. After your recent victory, Zaitan's forces are weakened. The dragon feels us growing closer, like a thorn digging deeper into flesh.
Now we know Zaitan can feel fear as well as rage. Its time in Tyria is coming to an end.
Brave words. Now let's make them come true. Come with me. The other commanders are inside. Grotto is this way. I'm told star-crossed lovers used to meet here. Be cautious, we're still clearing out the last of the Orions from here. With the destruction of the Orion Armada, it greatly hurt Zaitan's access to new soldiers. This grotto makes a defensible command post. Only two ways in, this passage and the seaway. Dawn, Winnet, and Efoot are already here, preparing the next attack. We need a strategy. What are your recommendations for our next move?
Full offensive, sir. We've cut away Zaitan's supports. Now's our chance to attack the main force, while they're still reeling.
I agree, but a land-based offensive would hit where the dragon is strongest. If we attack from the sea, we'd do more damage.
Marshal, we've lost contact with the squad investigating lost artifacts. I want to send in an extraction team.
I see. Commander, a word. I need your input.
Marshal Traherne, a risen legion is approaching. I saw the sigil of the Orion royal house. I think they're coming from the tomb of Prince Alhazred.
In life, Alhazred was said to be a cruel, vicious man. Death will have not improved him. Prepare to defend the encampment. To arm!
Sure am glad to see you, Commander. Even with all these packed soldiers here, I'm scared. This place makes my ears twitch.
What did you expect from all? Be glad you're still alive to have twitchy ears. And tell the commander about our missing squad.
Sorry, Commander. Our best reconnaissance team is long overdue. We think they're still alive, but...
Of course they're alive. They've got Fergan. Finest tracker I've ever seen. And his survival skills are legendary. He'll keep that squad safe.
But we still need to find them. I can follow a trail. Fall in, and let's start combing the area.
This one's dead. Single arrow through the neck.
Clean kills? From the Risen? Our squad is in real trouble. We'd better move.
Here's another one. Looks like the Risen just tore him apart.
No, the mutilation was post-mortem. Someone ran him through with his own sword first.
Okay, this whole mission is glitched. The squad's obviously dead. Can't we just go back?
Not until we find them all. I refuse to believe that Fergan just let these people die. We've got a live one! Arrows through both legs. He can't move, but he's breathing. It's okay. We got here in time. Hang on, and we'll get you home.
No. Run! Trap!
You don't understand. He'll kill me. He'll kill us all.
Stop. Don't move. Just talk. What happened to your squad?
He hunted us down. He's hunting us all down. He's still out there. Don't you see? We're not safe. Not from him. Not from...
Fergan. The Risen took him first. Made him one of them. After he turned, he started hunting us. He's unstoppable. A monster. I'm the only one left. If he gets me, you have to tell Traherne what we found. Tell him about the searing cauldron.
Zaitan's forces have a searing cauldron? Like the one that destroyed Ascalon?
That's right. Traherne must be told. But we'll never get out of here alive with Fergan on our trail. He won't...
He won't what? Come on, what won't Fergan do? What is wrong with you?
That's it. I'm getting out of here.
Heck, stop! He could be out there! Ah!
Stay away! Someone! Oh, you did it! I thought I was a goner like the others, but you stopped him. I've never seen one of the Risen act like that. We need to report this in right now. And not just this. Traherne needs to know about the cauldron, too.
Welcome back, Commander. Did you find the missing squad? They were on a mission of vital importance.
I did. They discovered that Zaitan's horde has obtained a searing cauldron, and that discovery cost them their lives. I'm tired of burying our best and bravest, but their sacrifice may be the key to victory. A weapon like that could change the course of the war.
It is imperative that we claim that cauldron before Zaitan's minions can employ it. I need you to lead a mission to get it. Head down to the airship dock. Pilot Jayashrik is standing by, along with a state-of-the-art battlesuit. Laurenthia's extraction team will follow you in. Use the suit to clear a path for them, and they'll rendezvous with you at the cauldron.
Oh, I'm jealous, Commander. You get to pilot the meanest battlesuit ever built right into Zaitan's backyard.
You should be. I've heard great things about it, and can't wait to put it to the test.
You're outfitted with the finest weaponry in the Pact. Energy beams and ballistics. Offense and defense, all cased in Deldrimor steel. There's even a teleporter adapted from advanced Inquest gear. You're a walking murder machine. I'll be up here watching you at every step. Mark your targets with smoke grenades, and I'll make it rain fiery death. Here comes the drop zone. After you land, I'll feed you updates through the communications relay golem. Good luck, and give Zaitan my regards.
Impressive, Commander. I'd hoped you would leave us some, but this works too.
As long as we have the cauldron, you've done your share. Is it secure?
Secure and ready to be deployed. Our offensive is stalled at the Cathedral of Verdance. I hope we can punch through the resistance.
I was concerned at first too. Don't be. Marshal Traherne convinced me the risk was acceptable.
You're right, of course. Our sorcerers have more control than the Flame Legion shamans did centuries ago. Any damage we do to ore, we also do to Zaitan. I'll have the cauldron loaded onto your ship. You made this possible. You should have the honor of setting it off. Meet us at the target when you're ready.
Commander, we were overrun. More of my troops are trapped, but I can't get to them. There's an Orion army between us and them, and our cannons are inoperative. But you could cut through the enemy with your suit and bring that tank crew back alive.
Everyone, calm!
Thank the gods you're here. We need you to lead us out of here, now!
The cauldron is on the way, Commander. That pilot of yours really knows her stuff. I'm confident she'll deliver. Our job is to clear the landing zone. You remember Baron and Pharaoh? The Priory sent them to prep the cauldron once it's in position. Enemy resistance hinges on our two main objectives, the Cathedral and Prince Nekandeza, leader of the Risen forces there. There's something special about that one. He's been destroyed multiple times, but keeps coming back stronger than ever.
Not this time, Gov. Pharaoh and I are ready to roll. Let's see old Neki shrug off a point-blank searing cauldron to the face.
Artillery! We need to shut down those bone tendrils before our airship can deliver the payload. Keep moving. Don't make yourself an easy target.
Kill them all!
There, near the steps. Another tendril. Jayashrik, pull up now! The airship is down, but we can still complete our mission. Hurry!
The cauldron's intact. Back me up, Pharaoh. This is going to be more complexicated than we thought.
Don't wait for me, boyo. You carry your load, I'll motivate mine.
Hurry! Nekandeza will reserve his main force in case this is a feint, but he may try to flank us.
Well, braid my ears. Those ancient Flame Legion poobahs may have been evil, oppressive oiks, but they knew how to enchant a weapon.
Too right. That's a proper bonfire, that is. Now we just need to sweep up the ashes and detectify that pilot lass of yours.
Not yet. I'm sorry, but this mission isn't over yet. Arda will have to wait until we verify that Nekandeza is truly dead.
You what? Old Neki is a pile of greasy grit right now. Believe you me, nothing could have lived through that. Nothing!
If it were anyone else, I'd agree. But Nekandeza has walked away from certain death before. This time we have to make sure.
Then let's get moving. The longer we take, the worse Arda's chances get. Put a guard on the cauldron and follow me.
So, my hunters are finally revealed. You staged quite the fiery spectacle. Using the cauldron against us was a bold move, but it won't save you. You are worthy foes, but in the end, all will be food for the dragon. I am Prince Nekandazar, wielder of the Crimson Blade, the Grand Deceiver.
Finally, Nekandeza is gone and the cathedral is ours. A great victory. We've crippled the risen war machine. For the first time, Zaitan's army is fully on the defensive. Excellent work, Commander.
And you, War Master. But I'm not celebrating until we find our pilot.
Of course. We'll cover more ground if we split up. My squads and I will help you comb this entire battlefield. Don't lose hope. I haven't known Jayashrik long, but she seems tough. If anyone could have survived that wreck, it's her.
Nothing so far, Commander. And with all the undead patrols in the area, the search is proving more difficult than I expected.
I worry that even if Arda survived the crash, what the enemy will do to her is far worse than death.
Then we need to expand our search. I'm going to move out into the foothills near the coast.
I'm with you, but we have to be careful and take things slowly. It won't do Arda any good if we get ambushed before we find her. Lots of bodies. Arda was definitely here. We'd better hurry. They're after her. Arda's pistol. She must have cast it aside when she ran out of ammo. That's not good.
I knew you'd find me, but rescue isn't really an option anymore. Just tell me, did we get them, boss?
We got them. The cathedral, Nekandeza, and more undead than you could count. The cauldron you delivered got them all.
Good. Just wish I could have seen it.
Hang on, Arda. Arda? I'm sorry, Commander. Arda's gone. She was instrumental to the success of our mission. I'll see that she's honored.
Thank you. Arda was brave, and she did her duty. She will be missed, but we have to press on. We are now poised to deliver the death blow to Zaitan and its army. We can't afford to wait.
I agree. Traherne is waiting near Medler's summit to brief us on the final offensive. You go ahead and report to him there. I'll see to Arda.
Greetings, Commander. This is Havroun Gretchen, one of the spirit shamans of Holbrek. And you already know War Master Larenthir of the Vigil.
You're an inspiration, Commander. Many believe that if we can defeat Zaitan, Jormag will be next. Your deeds bring great hope to the Norn.
Indeed. Silvari sing of your victories. And even the Charr raised battle cries in your honor. You've been a spark to many flames.
I hope today will bring another victory for Tyria. Marshal Traherne, what's our goal?
I have created a ritual that might cleanse a dragon's corruption. If it succeeds, this mission could be a turning point in the war. My research suggests that the royal tombs were deeply sacred. They may still hold the connection I need to restore the land with Or's fading life force. If the dragon discovers our attempt, he'll try to stop us. Havroun, you and Larenthir will defend the mouth of the tomb. Give us all the time you can.
We will, Marshal Traherne. By the bear, I swear we'll hold the line or die trying.
This is Azabe Kabar. Gretchen, you and Larenthir must hold the entrance. Zaitan's forces will be relentless. Our survival is in your hands.
I understand, Marshal Traherne, and I won't fail you. You'll have the time you need.
This is the place. We'll perform the ritual here. The moment we begin, Zaitan will know. Be ready for anything.
Strong! I feel strong! I make a pretty good team.
Marshal, the rear guard is overwhelmed. Gretchen!
Get
over here! No, not Gretchen. Only her tortured remains. Commander, we must put her to rest.
Well done. No. We were so close. By the pale tree, it's impossible. All this, all these lives, wasted. All for nothing.
Traherne, didn't you see? The cleansing worked. For a moment, the spirit of the land rose up like a breath of wind.
We all felt it. It was as if Orr's own soul was fighting to be free. The ritual was a success.
But the absolution didn't hold. Though sacred, the royal tombs weren't strong enough. This isn't the heart of Orr. I wonder if such a heart still exists.
Wait. Remember the vision that the Pale Tree gave us? An Orrian king spoke of the source. Maybe that's something that can help.
You're right. The source of Orr. Yes. I think I remember hearing about such a thing. A priestess of Grenth and a shaman of the Norn spoke of it.
Those sound like solid leads. Which should I follow?
That, my friend, I shall leave to you. 2 roads to the same goal. The cleansing of Orr, and eventually Zaitan's own demise. But we cannot give up hope. My wild hunt is not in vain. This is a challenge we can overcome. You have my gratitude, Commander, for all you've done. Welcome, Commander. I've asked Priestess Rai to join us. Her knowledge of the God of Death is unmatched.
I never thought I'd be standing here. The Cathedral of Silence, the first temple of Eastern Tyria. This is the Shrine of the 7 Reapers.
Who were the 7 Reapers? Priests of Grenth?
Mortal heroes that fought beside Grenth when he defeated the god Doom and ascended to the throne of death. They became his avatars. I can still feel the altar's sanctity. The secrets you seek are here, but Orrian rites were very different. I may not be able to call the Temple Guardian.
Don't worry. Where faith ends, science begins. This is my Voed. That's very old energy detector to you, non-geniuses. At this setting, it triggers old emotional resonance, visions of the past. When we get to the altar, we'll watch the image residue of the Orrians and see what they did.
Excellent. Follow me then, and we'll find that altar. Kill them all!
Activate the Voed.
The Charr are at the doorstep of Orr. They plan to sear our nation as they did Ascalon. Vizier Kilbron says he can defeat them, but we must prepare for the worst. As Desmina did so many years ago, we shall call upon Grenth for his aid. If Orr dies, at least we will be with him. Where is the god to whom I give my undying devotion? Where is the god to whom I may beg revenge against those who scorn me?
In order to commune with the altar, we should mimic them. Everyone to your places. Where is the god to whom I may give my undying devotion? Where is the god to whom I may beg revenge against those who scorn me?
Follow where I lead. Come whence I call. And the corpses of the dead will be yours to control.
Hail, Ancient One! Rise from your frozen tomb. I, your priestess, call upon you in the name of Grenth himself.
Who dares summon me? A true priest? Is there such a thing in this fallen land?
I am Grenth's servant, and we have survived many dangers to speak with you. Please, hear us.
I see in your heart that you are no stranger to death. Very well. I will hear you out. But in return, you will kill in Grenth's name. The keeper of this shrine has fallen to Zaitan. Grenth wishes him returned, but I am too weak to perform the task. Destroy the keeper, and I will answer your questions.
Thank you, Dark Reaper. We will do as you have asked.
Once, and I will do it again. Faithful to you. Save me.
We've done it. Praise Grenth.
Praise the eternal alchemy, you mean? It was my device that summoned that creepy guy in the first place.
We've fulfilled our part of the bargain, Reaper. Will you honor yours?
So shall it be. You seek the heart of war, then you must go to the very beginning. The rock where the gods first set foot upon this world. There is an artesian well hidden in the mountains behind the temple of Melandru. There, you will find the place where ore began.
Thank you. We'll go there and cleanse this land of the dragon's corruption. Ore will once again be free.
Let it be so. I will see you again, heroes. In every swing of your enemy's blade, I will be there.
Soldiers of the Pact, you are not merely our best hope. You are our only hope. Your duty is to defend this entrance against the servants of the dragon, Zaitan. The torch of renewal is in your hands. Together, we'll ignite a fire to burn away the corruption and set ore free. This is it, Commander. The source of ore, the font of its magic. The water from which this land draws life. Our scouts reported an immense artesian well at the center of this cavern. The waters run beneath the city of Arar, and from there to every corner of the nation. If we can purify this heart well, then the magic will spread as the water flows, carrying our cleansing ritual throughout ore.
Is there enough life left in ore to power the ritual?
The heartbeat of the land is weak and thready, but I can hear it. When we reach the source, only then will we know.
Are you that afraid? Come closer. We wish to see you clearly. Defilers, poisoners, we see you. We know your foul intent. These watchers must remain as they are. Kill them all! Mortal, flesh and bog and fur. I see in your heart that you have lost someone to Zaitan. Someone named fought all the death around you. All those who have gone before you. Come to Zaitan and find everything you have lost. You can be with them again. I see into your very soul. What's happening to me? Why does it bleed so brightly?
Well done.
My own hand, my own form. curse. Praise the... Thank you, brave heroes. Whatever wind guided you to this place, I bless that gale. My name is Riza, and I was the last king of Or. When the dragon rose, it plundered the royal tomb at Azave Kabar, and used the bodies of my family to create its most heinous servitors, the Eyes of Zaitan.
The other eyes? Those were the kings and queens of Or?
Yes, we were chained to the dragon, corrupted into monsters that bore Zaitan's vision, carried out its will. One by one, you have freed us. I, the most powerful of all, was placed here to guard the source of Or's magic. Yet you have found a way. I am deeply grateful. For this service, I grant you an ancient honor. You shall carry the title Champion of Or from this day forward. Remember us as we once were.
Thank you, King Riza. I am honored, and I will remember you and your people.
Now, begin your final task. Cleanse this land. Restore what has been stolen. Confront Zaitan's power, and give Or a new beginning.
As you say, King Riza, it's time to wash away the corruption that dishonors this land. Rest in peace. We won't fail you. Here at the end, I'm glad that it's just you and me. We will cleanse Or together, as we were meant to do.
The line's broken. We're being overwhelmed. Fall back!
To me!
I feel strong! Oh, that had to hurt.
The pale tree guides you.
Form up and protect.
It's done. I can feel the waters beginning to radiate, with the energy of Khalid Bolg flowing everywhere the water touches.
Traherne, are you well? You look like you can barely stand.
The ritual has taken a great deal out of me, but I will live.
Let's make sure of that. Medic! We need a medic over here.
No need. Our work here is done, though the fight is far from over. We must regroup at Fort Trinity, and then we will have the opportunity to plan your next step forward.
I look forward to it. And Marshal, congratulations on the successful conclusion of your wild hunt.
It has been a part of me since I took my first steps, but now my wild hunt is complete. It's time I redefine myself. A rare and unique challenge. But I have the Pact to keep me busy. Thank you for all you've done. Hear that cheering, Commander? Savor it. Today, the Pact has triumphed, and my wild hunt is finally at an end. Praise the pale tree. I fear you still have great and terrible things to do. To kill Zaitan. Not long ago, I would have thought it impossible.
Cleansing Or seemed impossible, but we did it. With allies like ours, ridding the world of Zaitan will be tough, but not impossible.
Well said. And you can rely on those allies to stand by you to the very end. My wild hunt may be over, but the coalition we've built will fight on. I hereby pledge the entire Pact and all its resources to your task. By the Mother Tree and all who have made the ultimate sacrifice, Zaitan will fall.
Thank you, Marshal. When Zaitan falls, we'll all be there to see it. then the celebration can truly begin.
Well, we've done some scouting. It is no walk in the park.
Even with the 4 of us to help, it will be a difficult battle.
As always, Selvari, your intent is good, but your math skills are subpar.
Zojja, you've come to help?
You think I'd let you go fight an elder dragon without a proper genius?
Zojja, I need you to know something.
I know. You blame yourself for Snaf's death. I blamed you for many years myself. But I'd blame myself if you went in and failed, and I could have helped. Snaf would have wanted me here.
Thank you.
You were saying, Kate?
Aral was once the city of the human gods. Even after the deities quit this sphere, it remained a golden, shining place. Until the folly of man sank it beneath the waves. Yet worse was still to come. The Elder Dragon awoke and pulled ore from its watery grave, and raised hordes of undead minions from the twisted wreckage. Now Zaitan's minions infest this place. We must rise above them if we hope to confront the Elder Dragon.
We'll need every airship if we're going to succeed in this mission. We must salvage enough power cores to get this one up and into combat. If Tyria is to have any hope, we must finish what we started. We must destroy Zaitan.
And with your help, we will.
One more thing. We have to thank you for bringing us back together.
I don't know what I've done.
You have led, by word and by deed. Without your example, we would never have reunited. I tried to force them. I was wrong. You have restored us.
Are we going to get started? Or just chat Zaitan to death?
Foolish fleshlings! You will wither before the might of Zaitan!
Kill them all!
Perish and rot before Zaitan!
It's so rotten.
Zaitan will consume your world!
Kill them all! Refreshing.
That should be enough to get the airship aloft.
Get these installed and we can get aloft.
Captain, Orion undead sighted. They're coming in fast.
Blast! Hold them off while we finish installing those cores. Cast off. We're lifting off.
Line 1, cast off.
Line 2, cast off.
Line 3, stand by. The witch is broken. We can't cast off.
Blast! We're stuck. Someone has to stay behind to release the airship.
I'll do it.
No, Logan, we can't split up. Not this time.
Long ago, I failed all of you. I left you behind to fight. Now you need to leave me behind so you can carry the fight forward.
You don't have to do this.
Yes, I do. For all of you, and for myself.
Fine, but if you get yourself killed, I'll hound you into the mists.
Form up on me!
He had to stay behind.
Ugh.
Huh. Ah.
Commander, you've made it! We need your help. We're landing troops in Ara and engaging Zaitan's minions. Our transports and troops are getting shelled by enemy emplacements. We need someone to help clear a safe landing zone.
Everything is prey for the dragon. Surrender. Accept your fate. Kill all. I'm strong.
Dragon champions! Everywhere!
Let's just call it a target-rich environment. Another ship coming in, and it's a huge one.
When it comes alongside, get aboard.
Abandoned ship! Get to the larger vessel!
Everyone onto the other ship!
Come on, you laggards! We don't have all day.
Logan, you're alive!
Do you think I was going to let you go up against Zaitan alone?
Logan, I'm delighted to see you're well. I thought.
I know. I got out by the skin of my teeth and hopped a lift with this ship. It's a new design.
Impressive. I think this is just what we need to take down a dragon.
Everyone to your battle stations. We're going in.
Something fast.
Look at the size of that thing!
Stand aside. I have this.
Excuse me. This is a mist-cooled tripartite Thokmatium energy link.
Uh-huh. With a lead tracer array set for draconic energy. Who do you think designed it? I know how to handle this. I won't break it. Money. carved its tail off.
It can't stay in the air!
The Elder Dragon is no more.
We have succeeded, but only by coming together to fight a greater foe. You have shown the way. We, and all of Tyria, are in your debt.
Victory at last. With Zhaitan defeated, the corruption it wrought can be undone. The dragon's undead minions that still infest Tyria will now gradually be exterminated. One day soon, that plague will be but a memory.
Courage, skill, and friendship brought the dragon low. Let this day never be forgotten.
A victory that all Tyria can share.
This is not an ending. There are other dragons out there. Other battles.
You shambling fuzzball. Can't you just be happy?
I was being happy.
Will you return to your queen now, Logan?
No. Not until I know that Kryt is safe.
Meaning he's up for more fighting. See? Logan's happy too.
Snaf would be proud of us. Especially of you, Zojja.
Proud that we didn't screw up and plant our faces in the mud again, you mean? Well, I guess he would, at that.
So, who's next? Jormag, Primordus, Krokotoric?
As dawn scatters shadows, so we will destroy them all. We could not have done this without you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You can count on me.
Good. Because Air is right. The rest of the dragons are still out there, waiting.
Hiding from the crowds, Traherne? That won't do. The world needs to see the Pack Marshals celebrating.
Not hiding, my friend. Thinking. Completing my wild hunt lifted a weight from me, but Zhaitan is still a terrible threat. Now that threat is truly gone, it feels like the sun has finally emerged after a cold, endless night. I can't help but wonder, what's next? Now that we've formed this unstoppable alliance and tempered it in battle, where do we take it?
To the next challenge, the next victory. There are more Elder Dragons to confront, and now we know how. We know they can be defeated. First, we celebrate. We won, Marshal. It would be a crime not to stop and appreciate that. Come on. There's an army of people in an ocean of libations waiting. All of Tyria deserves to share this triumph, including you. Join us.
Zaitan's defeat has saved many lives. More importantly, it has restored hope to a desperate world. The dragons are not stars in the sky. They can be counted. They can be fought. One day, we will kill the last of them. Only then will Tyria be safe. This is a new beginning for Orr, and for Tyria. A clear sky after a long storm. This is a dawn that Tyria shall never forget. This day is ours.